independent radio news.
Christmas on 10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio.
All right, don't you go on? Well, go on, I was earlier on.
Why go on? Because it's my job.
What's happened?
What has happened?
Have you been having me on? Have you been having me on?
There's a parrot in the background.
Get out of it. You've been winding me up, haven't you?
No, I've been having you on. Do you have any idea what you're talking about?
You little sex off, and I should flush you out before the week's out.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Nick. Kiss you all over, darling.
Good one. So yeah, stop playing my effects in. I will come in there and I will... Mrs. Hole.
Everyone fell in love with you, you're so natural. You could be nasty at times, though.
Oh, no, come on, there's nothing nasty about me.
Oh.
Okay so far? Don't answer that.
$10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio. Nick Abbott on Talk Radio.
Was that right? Was I hallucinating during the news, or did they just say that the customs people in Heathrow are going to take a break? But it won't... It's only going to affect the Green Channel, so they're just going to trust people. I have some friends coming in from America tomorrow. I just have to give them a ring. They'll take a flight, take a small detour to Amsterdam and come back. It always makes you want to go somewhere, doesn't it? Just for the thrill of coming back. Beauty. 0500 1053 89. Thanks, Mike. I'm Nick Abbott, in for this week, this very important calendar week, one of the most important religious festivals in the year, so naturally they chose me. And how about a lightning round? Not now, later, but look at that board. Absolutely, but one line. We only got 6 lines, but just dead, as are most of the people probably listening to this show. Hang on, it's too bright in here. 0500 1053 89. Ah, better. Retinal burnout. So, yeah, I'll have a lightning round. Now, how about I am? Because we had I want a little while ago, and you just want, and you want, and you want. And so that will give you a tremendous amount of scope. So, like I said, not now, later. It'll give you loads of scope to tell us exactly what you are, or what you'd like to be. And in about, I don't know, 10 minutes, depends how it goes. 0500 1053 89. Some new people work. It's not the creatures of the night. It's not Myth and Mike. It's James and Sarah, who are doing this for the very first time. Not this for the very first time, but working with me. So, well, anything could happen from now on. For the rest of the week, it's a completely new lineup every day. So, start a deep and meaningful relationship with the people that you work with. It's almost like being a temp. Well, in fact, it is like being a temp. You go to a new office every day and work with entirely new people, and you'll never see them again. And that same sort of a hollow feeling of coming to work and working with complete strangers, and they'll put you in the office out the back, and you'll be putting the files in alphabetical order for about 5 hours, just generally doing the jobs that nobody else wants to do. So, like I said, just like being a temp. And Ian is away this whole week. Is he away next week too? To shouting through 3 layers of glass. Yes. And so that's as far as we know. He's away till the 6th of January. And when you say something to me, just say it on the air. Go ahead. Don't just say it in my headphones, because when you say something in my headphones, I don't know whether that's gone on the air. And so and if it just comes to me, then the nice ladies and gentlemen just hear a great big pause while I'm listening to. We could have a chat on our own, or we could leave the building and go down the pub and have a chat. But it would probably be such that I wouldn't be back tomorrow. So let's have a call in St. Albans, and it looks to me like Raphael. Hello, Raphael.
Hi there.
Oh, I was,
Is that Nick?
For some reason I was expecting to talk to a woman, but
Is that Nick?
it sounds like me.
Is this Nick?
Like I said. Yes. Okay, this is going really swimming.
Oh, I see. I have to turn the radio off, don't I?
You're
very confusing.
listening to the radio and you're hearing what happened
confusing.
7 seconds ago.
I've never heard this station
And
before.
this call could last all week.
Well, you sounded a little lonely, and I've never actually listened to this station. I was confused because my clock was on the wrong station. I usually listen to 5 Live, I think.
Well,
And,
we
but
don't
somehow
want to know that.
But somehow I was on Virgin.
Let's go through like a large list of our competitors. Yeah, no, you're right. I was a little lonely to start with, because that's the problem with not doing topics, is that you launch yourself into a great big void, because the people who were calling the previous host were talking to him, and they were, busy getting into the sort of strange relationship that listeners have with late-night talk show hosts. And when I say strange, trust me, you should see my mail. And thanks for the mail, by the way, except for the really weird stuff. But once it gets going, once the ball starts rolling and people get it, then it's just fine. Now, was there a point to this, or were you just going to, like, go through a list of all of the radio stations other than this one?
Just logic told me that all 3 of them must be in the same little band, you would say, I guess.
No, we're all on the same frequency. It's just that, depending on where your radio is made, it picks up a different one each time, yeah.
Right, well, of course mine was made in Switzerland. I'm sure you can tell by my accent.
Your radio was not made in Switzerland. Swiss don't make radios.
Well, the clock part, probably.
Oh, yes.
So how long have you been on the air, Nick?
8 minutes.
Style.
8 minutes.
Style, but
what do you mean you like my style? You've never heard the station before, and you heard me stumbling to this point after the news, and that's what you like?
Hear. That's what I want to. That's that's what I like it, laid back.
Stumbling and mumbling.
Laid back but there's a gist there.
There was?
Yeah.
Would you like to explain it to me?
What did you mean by I am?
Well, what does that mean?
You said something like, let's talk about I am. Like,
hang on a sec. Oh. Well, that's something that I call a lightning round.
Right.
Where you have to complete a sentence, and it just happens very, very quickly. I'll do it in about 10 or 20 minutes. Don't join in on the first one, because you will be deeply confused, and you'll probably get cut off before you even start to open your mouth. In fact, don't even join in at all today.
Because things like that.
Because you can't call twice.
Right.
But,
it's a shame, because I'm actually quite good at those things.
At what things?
At these lightning, this sounds of this lightning round thing.
Well, have we met in a previous life? Because you like the first few minutes of what you heard. You've never heard me before. I don't believe that there was enough material in there for anybody to like me.
Yeah.
Unless they do.
I give everyone the benefit of the doubt,
Uh-huh.
I'm just generally a good old guy.
Right. And now you say that you're very good at doing something that you've never done before, and you've only just heard about.
As well. Probably a little too confident, actually, at times. But nothing wrong with that,
Well, is that the American in you?
I guess it would be. It would be. There's a lot of influence of America in my life, or in my past.
Well, you being American?
I'm Canadian. But I am...
And you probably get very upset about that.
No, I don't get upset about it at all. We're North American. We're North American. And...
peace and love, and...
We're closer to being American than we are... I mean, it doesn't bother me. I think it's because I travel a bit, and I see a lot of Canadians getting upset at being called Canadian, but... we're part of that North America thing.
Did you say that you see a lot of Canadians getting upset at being called Canadian?
Is that what I said?
That's what you said.
Thanks for correcting me, yeah. A lot of Canadians getting upset at being called Americans. But,
So what is this thing about the French in Canada? What is all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to go into it because I'm not, I'm a little ignorant on the subject.
Me too.
But, not being French-Canadian. And probably, it's not an area that I know, so.
Or care much
maybe
about.
experts on that one, Yeah. Like, you got to talk to the experts on things, and
okay,
I'm not an expert.
Well, let's hope that one doesn't call up, because, how
That'd
boring.
be very interesting.
Oh, no, it would. How boring on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, was there any purpose to this call? Because I haven't noted any thread of any kind. Right, just out of the goodness of your heart.
Well, you said that you had 6 lines there, no one was phoning in, so why not, right?
And
Why don't I give you a hand?
You give me 2.
Yeah.
And
If I had to.
5 minutes later,
Only if I only had to.
still 3 lines free.
Oh, so you've got a few lines.
Is this an indication of how this week is going to go? Because I did 3 weeks back in the summer and a couple of days last few weeks, and the board was, I know it's timely, it was lighting up like a Christmas tree.
Right.
But this week, you just never know, because it might be just like a load of drunks. Sarah's doing the phones, it just could be one...
when it rains, right?
One party casualty after the next.
When it rains.
And... what was really scary, I took a peek up into the sky, and it's either a full moon tonight or tomorrow. Where is it?
I think it was yesterday.
We have a large window that looks out onto a beautiful rolling field at the back of this building, with a lake and a mountain in the distance.
Where are you? Where are you?
It was a full moon yesterday. Now, did that go on the air, or was it just in my headphones?
I said that.
It's me.
I could be wrong.
Tonight.
It's definitely tonight.
Thank you very much.
It's a full moon
I've
tonight.
been wrong before.
Now, you understand that you should never do a radio show, especially a phone-in, when it's a full moon. In fact, you should never talk to anybody or leave the house. It's a full moon tonight. Are you sure about that?
As in this evening, yeah. As in tomorrow's night show will probably be more affected than tonight's show, but then you can't be too sure looking at the calls we're getting at the moment. If that makes any sense.
She's stressed out, and it's only 15 minutes into the show. Okay, well, listen, I still haven't detected what this call is about, Raphael, but thanks for
I've
what...
explained it twice. I'm on the wrong station. You think it's a lie or something? I'm getting into bed. I'm caught on Virgin. I want to listen to some talk radio.
And you're the Samaritan.
Where is my 5 Live that I usually listen to? It's not here.
He's doing the list
some guy
again.
talking, and there's no one phoning in.
Okay, excellent. Well, now there are, so I can relieve you of your post.
I appreciate it.
And me too. More than I can express in words. Thanks a lot, mate. 0500 1053 89. What a nice guy. How about Tunbridge Wells? Jane.
Hello.
Hello, Jane.
Well, I'm frustrated because I can't see it now from the bedroom that I'm in. I've been trying to call you for 4 or 5 minutes.
Can I ask you a question about this, Jane?
Hello?
Can I ask you a question about this?
Please?
Can't see what?
Well, the moon. It's a
full moon,
and it seemed to be moving like a... I feel incoherent trying to tell you, but I didn't think it was the moon. It was like a lit-up balloon moving across my sky, and I wanted somebody else to see it. And I left the phone once where the lass said, hang on to the phone, and I went over to have another look, and it had almost disappeared. It had gone way up.
You've been reading the autobiography of that old actor. What's that bloke's name? The Moon is a Balloon? Can you remember that guy?
Yeah, I remember your...
David Niven.
Oh, yes, I read
The Moon is a Balloon.
Yes, I read his book, that's right. But it did look so weird tonight, and I kept talking to myself. I said, I can't believe it, and I walked away, and I went back to have another look, and then another look before I phoned you, and I could have sworn it was travelling like a balloon.
Took a
and I
quick
wanted
peek.
somebody else to look. Okay?
Well, it just gets weirder and weirder. Like I said, never do a show when there is a full moon or a full balloon or whatever it is that's up there. There's a moon in the sky and it's called the moon, like the B-52 said. All right, thanks a lot, Jane. Bye. It's a mobile, so I better take him before that great leap forward in communications technology cuts him off. David.
Hi.
You're on Talk Radio.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I've not a very good signal at the moment. There's nothing wrong with the moon. What's he talking about?
I've got no idea.
No, me neither. Anyway, listen, I've just been past a well-known store that's open 24 hours a day.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Selling, no names, but what are they selling?
No, they're selling food.
Wicker.
Yep.
It's one of those emergency 24-hour Wicker places.
No, it's a big store, and it is packed out with people. And I've just got home, and it's about 20 past 1? And there's people walking the streets carrying bags of shopping. Now, what are they going to do with all this food that they're buying?
Freeze it.
Oh, I don't believe it. I honestly don't believe it. I feel sorry for the people working in the shops. But I mean, it's busier now than it was this afternoon.
Bizarre. Now, whereabouts is this?
Camberley.
Camberley.
Yeah, in Surrey.
Because they had on the news a little while ago, in fact yesterday, they took some camera, some 24-hour food place, and they sort of gave like a time-lapse indication of how busy it was at like all the hours of the night, and there wasn't anybody there. Like the aisles were totally deserted.
I tell you what, this place has got one of the biggest car parks you've ever seen in your life, and there isn't a car parking space to be had in it. It's just packed out with cars.
Well, what are they selling there? Buzz Lightyears?
No, it's mainly food, you know, turkeys and stuff like that.
Huh.
Fresh vegetables, but I mean...
You don't want to eat those?
You don't want to eat them.
No, there's a thing in The Guardian today about all of the food that you will be eating this Christmas is going to kill you. Sorry about that.
Eventually, I suppose.
No, not eventually. Immediately. As soon as you finish the meal, you will be dropping down dead.
Well, that's not so bad. I mean, you know, at least the moon won't follow you around your bedroom, will it?
Most supermarkets will get you to sign a legal release form as you purchase your goods this Christmas, so that you won't, your nearest and the people that you leave behind won't be able to sue them.
That's all right.
Turkeys are packed into factory farms where conditions may be unhygienic. Some will have been fed animal protein. Not that again, and be suffering from chronic overweight. Vegetables. Unless you buy organic, then your vegetables, especially carrots, may have traces of organophosphate-based pesticides. Wasn't that the stuff that the Gulf War syndrome is supposed to be caused by? Cranberries. Probably the safest thing on the plate, says The Guardian. Stuffing may contain vegetable suet, which is high in hydrogenated fat, at least as dangerous as saturated fat. And gravy can contain caramel colouring, too much of which can reduce your white blood cell count. Happy holidays. Fasting, I think, is the idea.
I know what we'll do. We'll drink all the alcohol and smoke all the fags and then not eat anything.
Sounds like sounds like the start of one of those great diet books.
It sounds like
you and me. We could go into publishing and make a mint.
I'll tell you what. It sounds like, apart from me,
like Nigel Lawson. Do you think maybe that's how he did it?
Oh, God knows.
Probably,
apart from me, who I've just driven home, so I haven't touched any alcohol. It sounds like that all your callers so far have been doing that anyway.
Well, not necessarily. It's just like generally weird on...
the first one, especially. I mean, what was he going on about?
I've absolutely no idea, but I'm glad that he was there.
Well, it is a full moon anyway, and it's not moving. So,
it's not moving, but we are. That's the scary part, yeah. Do you have any idea how fast we're moving? Hundreds of thousands of... And you wonder why it's hard to get your hair to stay in place. Hundreds of thousands of miles a second we're moving. Or something like that. It's almost an education, this show, isn't it?
It is.
Almost, yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, mate.
I'm going to bed. See you.
0500 1053 89, and it looks to me like we're going to take a break.
Christmas on 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio.
Hello, this is Christopher Aloysius Ashley. Well, today's the day we open the last window on the Advent calendar. The day when you'll remember that you forgot to buy a present for your Auntie Martha or your Uncle Arthur. The day when you realise the tree's got terminal needle drop. And when you start to think about getting a turkey. Yes, Christmas Eve. And there's no finer way to get the holiday off to a flying start than with myself, Christopher Aloysius Ashley. I'll be here with Britain's brightest breakfast. I'll have some tricky poses for you, some light-hearted banter, some very hush-hush surprise guests, and of course we'll be talking over the biggest stories of the day. So join me, Chris Ashley, this morning from 5 for the very special Christmas Eve breakfast on 1053, 1089 AM Talk Radio.
This is the sound to end unhappy nappy changes. All Pampers nappies from newborn to junior now have failure-free grip strips. They'll refasten time and time again, even when covered in cream. Changing is quick and easy, and you get a lot less wriggles and a lot more giggles. Driest Pampers ever, for drier, happier changes.
Hello, Bibi Baskin here. Have a very happy Christmas.
Creature comforts of a different kind. Nick Abbot on Talk Radio.
500 1053 89. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott in for Ian for the rest of this week. And the fax number, if you could care one way or the other, is 0541 59 69 79. And the address is like, why even bother? Because, it'll probably be arriving sort of June. Now, there's, this is in The Guardian, always good for a laugh. A thin blue pencil has been drawn through a crude and smutty pantomime staged by a police station, which is currently at the centre of a sexual harassment inquiry. The unwanted Christmas present for the Harrogate Division of North Yorkshire Police came after a Force Authority member went to watch the show and found references to genitalia, spanking, and self-abuse beyond the usual run of seasonal double entendre. Divisional Commander Chief Superintendent Chris said, "Oh no, it isn't on," when he was contacted by one of North Yorkshire's Assistant Chief Constables. The script was filleted for potentially offensive references before its final 3 nights, before invitation-only audiences. Officers attacked the pantomime vetting as petty and mean-minded and a bit of an overreaction. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't bother with another one, although they did raise £2,000 for charity last time. Deletions were said to be minor, and it was too late to alter the business-sponsored programme, which may become something of a collector's item. Among the variety of amazing scenes, it promised a naked man impersonating a snooker cue. Now, you do have a vivid mental image of that now, don't you? Here's Davina.
Hiya, Nicky. How you doing?
Now, this is not Davidina, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is?
It is.
Ah.
How you doing? Now I have an update.
You know, I got mail about you.
Oh, really? What have you got?
I'm not going to read
Can
it.
I wish you a Merry Christmas?
Oh, thanks, doll.
No, I really mean that. Hey, listen. To put your lady's mind at rest about the moon, 2 points before I go into the thing, right?
A list?
No, it really will move very quick at this time of year, because are you a fire sign? Yourself? Come on.
Yeah.
Leo, Sag, I think you're a Sag.
Leo.
Oh, right.
Cusp of Leo, and because it depends on what paper you read.
Oh, get out of it.
22nd of August. I mean, what kind of a science is that you can be born on the 22nd of August and one paper will say you're Leo and the other will say you're Virgo? What kind of rubbish is that?
I'm the 14th of December, so I'm a Sag, right? But I'm in this new star sign, just. But I don't believe that, because I'm a Saggy, right? This poor lady that's worrying about the moon, tell her not to bother, because I jumped out of bed and I had a look out the window, right? And I thought, what's she on about? It is moving at this time of year, because of the time of year. But it is in the sky, it's still there, you know? And all this stuff you're going on about meat and everything else, I'm a chef. Forget it. If you cook it well, it's fine. You won't die. Now, we've cleared those points up, all right? Can I go on to what I was going to talk about?
Oh, well, it depends. Let's
no, Nick,
let's take a little taster.
No, I was going to update you about Devon, right? I had a letter...
Wait a minute. What about Devon?
No, the guy that I met, who I said that you can't fall in love with someone who you've never met.
Oh, right.
Right,
well, you can't just, launch into it, like we've not heard anything since you spoke last.
No, but this is the update, because I promised I'd phone on the 25th, right, which I would do, but I got a letter that really, really bothered me, right, and I got a letter on the line of, I want to make love to you and all this
Well,
stuff.
wait a minute, can we get a précis of what it is that because most people are going, what is this woman on about?
Sorry, Nick. This guy wrote to me, right, for the last 5 months.
Okay, so you've had a pen pal for 5 months.
Yes.
You've never met him, and you're a little concerned about he might be a nut.
Exactly.
Right, and he wants to he's in love with you.
Yes, he's in love with me.
Despite the fact that he's never seen you, or I'm guessing, heard your voice.
Yes, he's heard my voice. He phones me.
Oh, he has heard your voice.
No, he phones me nearly every day. Seriously. Right? And I got a letter...
Talk about a sucker for punishment.
No, I got a... Get out. I'm all right, actually. I'm quite a laugh, but there you go. I got a letter the other day that really bothered me. He's coming on the 25th, as I told you all the other night, right?
Does he have to write to you just to get a word in edgeways?
No. Come on, Nick. Spare me, right? He wants to make love to me, right? Now, he's got a letter back. Now, bear in mind, it's Christmas Eve tomorrow, and it's Christmas Day, and it's Boxing Day. I went berserk. How can you say that to someone?
right?
Yeah, so you were going to meet him, but and I suggested, and I thought it was very good advice at the time. It was probably the only serious thing I said all night.
No, that's right.
Meet him in a public place.
That's right.
And did you?
No, I haven't met him yet. It's the 25th. But after getting this letter saying that he wants to make...
You're meeting him on Christmas Day?
No, Nick, you're missing the point. After me getting this letter from him, getting very personal, right, I wrote back saying that I am not easy, I do not go to bed with anybody, I have to get to know someone. Now, he's going to get that letter in about...
For how long? For how long do you have to get, what, like 3, 4 hours?
No.
Months?
No, months.
Months?
Only her age, Nick. You know?
Have you heard of safe sex?
Exactly, but I'm not willing to take that chance. No, I'm the old school. I'm 42. I'm not taking that chance, you know?
Okay, good for you.
So he's got a letter and a half. No, I really mean that.
Well, so do I. Good for you.
He's got a letter and a half coming to him, right? And he phoned me tonight, right? And he's giving me all this spiel down the phone. I thought, I don't believe you, boy, you know? You wait till you get my letter. Don't you think that's all right?
Well, from the small parts that I understood...
No, I'm telling you the truth, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, so do I.
So you told him to sling his hook?
Oh, I've told him that I'm not easy, and hasn't he heard of AIDS, and, you know, if he wants to still come on the 25th, he's got a spare room, which I told him all along. But I don't think this guy is getting through, you know? And that lady that phoned up that night and said, go for it, I'm not that silly.
Oh, I think you're nuts to have him over.
Well, I've got dogs, you know? No, seriously, Nick, I've told everybody. I'm not that daft, you know? But I thought I'd update you because I was so taken aback when I got this letter. I thought, what's the matter with this guy? I've been honest, is he crazy or what, you know?
Well, it's funny that he should be attracted to you.
Why? I'm very lovable, actually.
No, I'm sure you are. You're unique.
No,
I can honestly say I've never heard anybody like you.
No, I know, I bet you haven't. What? I mean, I know, I've only heard you a few times on here. You're regular on here.
No.
You've got me hooked. Where are you?
Well, now you're beginning to sound like him.
No, I'm not. You make me laugh. No, honestly. Are you normally on Talk Radio? Where are you?
No, I'm not normally on. I'm just filling in here and there, you know.
Oh, and you said it...
Like once every 4 months when Ian goes on holiday, something like that.
How's Ian? Because he wasn't very well, was he?
Absolutely no idea. He's not here. That's why I'm here.
So
are you listening to me? What station are you listening to?
No, I'm listening to you, Nick, but where else are you? No, you've got me hooked because you're crazy. You're a crazy guy. I knew you were a fire sign.
I don't believe that you've ever listened to anybody, and it's like you don't even pause for breath.
Yes, I do.
Is this after a hard day? Because a chef works hard. Have you been working hard all day?
Yes, I have.
Because you've got energy like you took the day off.
No, I'm going through...
It's like a kettle that's been on the boil with a cork in the spout, and suddenly it's been released, and it's like opening a champagne bottle with you. It all comes spewing out.
Nick, I'm like this 24 hours a day.
Oh, painful.
I am, and I'm going through the menopause, so I'm on HRT, so it gives you loads of energy.
It gives you scary amounts of energy. You're frightening me, Davina.
No, Nick, it's lovely to... No, your mate in the afternoon on 3 o'clock, I can't remember his name.
And is it David Ina?
No, on the afternoon show. What's his name?
Your name is David Ina?
No, my name's Davina. No, your guy that's on in the afternoon, Tommy Boyce, he knows me. He was born the same day as me.
Now, when you say knows you...
He knows of me. Ask him.
Right.
Nothing untoward. He knows me.
Nothing smutty?
No, from an old radio station. I used to phone him. So
did you ever like show up at the building with a suitcase saying that you were going to move in with him?
No. Tommy will tell you I'm harmless. Honestly. No, he was born the same day. No, he's an old pal of mine. I'm not going to say the name.
Okay, excellent. Don't. So you're wearing, but harmless.
Yes, I'm wearing it.
Talk about time.
Honestly, I've only listened to you a few times, and I've had a laugh with you, and I really hope you get a spot on this show.
Well, that's the thing, is you've got to have a laugh, ain't you?
Of course you have. But I would love to hear from your listeners, because that is very wary to me, Nick. Are you married at all? Can I ask you?
Oh, here we go. You are sounding like that bloke now.
No, I'm not. I'm not interested.
I bet you have your bags packed just in case I give you any indication of it.
I don't know you. Why the hell should I have my bags packed? I don't know you. You're a nice voice on the radio. You're a good laugh. No, seriously, I'm asking you that because...
Yes. I can't wait to hear this. What's the reason?
because of what's happening to me, because I would not pack my bags and jump off because I don't know what you look like. You could be fat, grey and ugly for all I know.
Yeah, well, keep that thought in mind.
No, I didn't mean that rudely. Hey, I didn't mean that.
Listen, I've got to go because
Okay, Nick.
I only have so much energy for the one show, you know.
I'm so sorry. Hey,
you're
Mush.
draining me.
Mush, have a good Christmas.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh. Just need to take a pause, just like a breather. I feel like I've just done a marathon. Oh, what a nice lady. 0500 1053 89. I'm Nick Abbott. This is Talk Radio. Let's have someone who's a little calmer, can we have someone who doesn't shout? Is Sheila. Sheila is in Middlesbrough, I'm guessing.
True.
Hello?
True. I want some help.
Oh, I'm incapable. I don't have any energy left.
Just brain cells type help. I've got in my kitchen, I've been doing one of the cupboards out, and I do them very rarely. And I discovered a bottle of, I'm not allowed to say the brand name, Original Irish Cream.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to know, it's been in there, I worked it out, it must have been in there 8 years.
Oh, clean the brass with it, don't drink it.
I was going to say, can you drink it?
Oh, well, I wouldn't think so. Does it have like a sell-by date on it?
No.
Because it's got cream in it, that's the thing but then it's sitting in alcohol, which would preserve it. Have you taken a little sip?
No, I haven't. I haven't touched it. I just sort of stared at it and thought, well, you know, can I or can't I?
Can I ask you a question, Sheila?
Yep.
Little hot sniffy action? Taken a whiff?
Yeah.
Prized the bottle top off and taken a sniff?
Yeah.
Have you?
No, I haven't, no.
Oh, you haven't? Well, why were you saying yes?
I haven't done it. No, sorry, I thought you said, oh, no, right, fair enough.
Take a sniff of it.
I'm not drunk.
Take a sniff.
Yeah. And you think that'll tell me whether it's okay?
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you have it to hand?
No, it's in the back kitchen. I was shattered when I found it, you see. I didn't know it was... I can remember getting it. I had it given for Christmas. And because there was only me, I didn't open it. Because, you know,
it's not even opened yet?
No, it's been in there unopened for 8 years. Because I had it given, you see, and I didn't dare open it because it was just me. I mean, obviously I was going to get sloshed, so...
on cream liquor? Oh, sloshed on that, so you'll be puking all night.
I like it.
Oh, yeah, but you don't want to drink a bottle of it all in one go. I mean, like a little glass after dinner or, special occasion, something like that. But you don't want to get drunk on the stuff.
That's why I didn't open it, you see, because there was only me.
You're talking to God on the big white telephone.
So I thought, wait, so I got a lot of people. You know.
And 8 years later, this never happened.
I forgot it was there.
I
just forgot about it.
You must have a massive kitchen that you can leave stuff for 8 years and you don't know where it is.
No, I'm just a lazy housewife.
Oh, right.
You know, they clean the cupboards when it all starts falling out the front, then you clean them. You know, when you can't get anything else in and you don't know what to do.
When it's so dirty you could grow potatoes in there.
Probably.
And you take a moist wipe to it.
Yes. I'll do it all out with Dettol now I'm in there. You know, never do a job by halves. But do you think it will be?
Well, it sounds like we have an expert on another line. So if you just hang on a sec, Mike.
Hello.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think her bottle will be quite all right. Hello.
Yeah, but on what basis are you saying that?
It's a cream, but it's served in alcohol. And if the cork hasn't blown off the bottle, it'll be perfectly safe.
No, the cork hasn't been.
No, it won't have gassed up or anything. If it starts to re-ferment or anything like that, then obviously it would have exploded by now. Your bottle will be perfectly safe.
But I mean, but you're talking like an expert, though, Mike. I mean, from what?
I've done a lot of home brewing, and I know a bit about alcohol and preservation. It's like anything that's been sitting in a cupboard for a long time. Don't take a lot of it. Just take a little tiny sip, and if it's okay...
How about Davina? Because she's been sitting on a shelf for a long time. Do you think she's still okay?
Oh, she was lovely. Oh, she's a wonderful woman.
No, it was great talking to her, but, I think I talked to her for just the right amount of time. Any more and I'd probably be dead now.
Yeah, she's a very interesting young...
Yeah, no question about that.
Interesting young lady.
She's a curiosity, yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, listen, thanks a lot, Mike.
Okay.
So that's the news, Sheila.
Right, Merry Christmas.
And we've cleared that up. For anything else that you find in the back of the cupboard, then please don't bother to call us because we've got no idea.
I don't really look.
And but you know, if you do find anything like really interesting, then you could always send it to us in the post. And the address is Talk Radio, P.O. Box 1089, London W1A 1PP. Right, let's have Val. Do we take a break now? How many breaks are we taking per hour? 3. Can we not take 4? 1 every 15 minutes. There you go. So the next one, okay, Val. Hello, Val.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
Very well, thanks. I just want to wish everybody listening and you and Sarah very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Because I'm on my own and I don't see people very often. So enjoy your Christmas. Don't overeat, don't overdrink, but you enjoy yourself. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot, Val. What a beautiful...
It's nice to hear you back on the air again.
Oh, thanks a lot. What a beautiful thought. Thanks for sharing your thought with us. 0500 1053 89. And just like I said before, it's anything could happen in the next, 6, 7 days, I think I'm on. Was it till 5? It's a full moon. Please don't be alarmed. Sue.
Hello.
Hello, Sue.
Oh, hi.
All women. This is really
You're
bizarre.
lucky tonight, isn't it?
Where are the men? Because they normally outnumber the women by at least 2 to 1 on this show.
Well, we've just been out shopping. I just thought I'd tell you about our experience.
Shopping till this time?
Yep. In one of the large superstores that's open all night.
Now, can I ask you a question about this? Was it super?
No, it was awful. It was diabolical. We thought we'd go. We thought, we'll make an evening of it, go to the movies.
What did you see?
The Goldie Hawn film, First Wives Club.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Is it?
Especially being a second wife. It all rings true.
All right.
Anyway, we went to the store afterwards, and it's been an absolute nightmare. 1, we had to fight to get into a car parking space. 2, there were no trolleys available. And then we had to queue up for ages after finding half of the shelves were empty, and we've got to go back tomorrow to get what we didn't get this evening.
So it wasn't... why don't you just go shopping during the day like a normal person?
Well, we just thought it'd be an experience and that there would be less people about. But
there wasn't.
Everybody had the same idea.
Yeah.
We were all out there being mad together.
So what'd you get?
Just basic Christmas shopping. Usual things, crackers, fruits, veg.
How many years do you have to buy crackers before you get the idea that they're not worth the money?
Well, we buy them once every 10 years because we just keep on using them until they fall apart.
What?
Because they're not worth having.
How can you reuse a cracker?
Well, you don't open them, you just put them on the tree. Use them.
So you never pop them?
No, not usually. Just put them on the tree for decoration.
And then you put them back in the box?
Yeah. But for next year.
Do you do that with presents too? Just like wrap up empty boxes of stuff and then put them away? Just so that you see something under the tree.
No, just go out and spend a fortune every year on buying new things. But there we go. I just thought I'd give you our version of Christmas all-night shopping.
A little update.
Dad saved the wrapping paper. Oh yeah, my dad saves the wrapping paper as well.
This is beginning to sound really pathetic. Would you tack it down with like blue tack or something?
No, you stick one bit of sellotape on his to hold it all together, and then he'll carefully unwrap it and use it again the next year.
And do you like recycle Christmas cards by just snowpaking out people's names and sending them their own cards back next year?
Oh, no, more inventive than that. He cuts up the pictures and uses them as gift tags for the following year.
Wow. He's
very resourceful, my father.
He doesn't have a job, does he? Retired, I'm guessing. Yes. Vast amounts of free time and nothing to fill it with.
Trying to find things to do to keep his 5 daughters happy.
Yeah, and to avoid watching too much of that daytime television.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Drive you up the wall, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but my mum usually has him videoing all the daytime television so she can watch it when she comes home from work at night.
Oh, what about all the evening television? When does she get a chance to watch that?
Oh, that as well. No, she has. My dad has.
Well, she stays up like all night to watch, so she can cram it all in.
Yeah, good as. My dad videos 3 afternoon programmes, and then in the evening he videos from 7 o'clock for Emmerdale Farm, and then on to EastEnders, and then on to Brookside.
Oh,
and obviously on the night
as an alternative to having a life, you mean? Watching other people. I can't get into British soaps at all. It's just like lots of ugly people whining at each other. I don't get it. You know, it's just not entertaining. It's just awful. It's depressing.
If you take EastEnders, you've got such a vast amount of people.
And they're all ugly and they're all whining at each other.
Yeah, moaning and whinging and never making the best of things.
I think that's what we like in this. We don't like success. You look at American soaps like Dallas and, you know, all of those. All of those. It's all about wildly successful people stabbing each other in the back and having a really bad time. Over here, we're like losers who are having an awful time, and everyone's miserable. I just, that doesn't sound entertaining to me. There's not one single British soap that holds any appeal to me at all. But it's not real life.
No, you don't find that many people with that many problems.
It's worse. See, TV should be like real life, but better. You know, as escapism. But British soaps are like real life, but worse.
Nightmare, isn't it?
And she watches them all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does she make, like, regular calls to the Samaritans? I mean, how depressed would you get?
She has withdrawal symptoms. She went off to Lanzarote and left my dad for 2 whole weeks, but left him with a big list of everything he needed to video.
She went to Lanzarote and missed Albert Square. Is that what you're telling me?
No, because Daddy videoed it all for her. He had a whole stack of videos that he had.
But these things are. If you watch all of those soaps, that's like 2 a night. I mean, when does she get time to catch up?
During the morning.
It's like she'll never catch up. She'll always be like a few days behind.
During the morning.
When does she sleep? Unbelievable. And does your mother do a job of work, or is this like a full-time occupation?
Oh no, she does a job of work. She works for a big superstore, but they don't open all night.
So she gets discount on videotapes, I'm guessing?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does, yeah. And video recorders and discounts for all the family on our electrical goods, so...
No, you need a discount on your electrical bill, I'm guessing. You need to get somebody to work at the electrics board.
That's right.
Oh. Okay, well, what with the, all those Christmas specials coming up, wasn't there like an hour-and-a-half long, Brookside on tonight?
I don't know. I haven't.
Triple your misery.
I haven't watched
You've taped it, but you haven't watched it.
That's right, because I've had such an entertaining evening.
Doing what?
Well, late night shopping.
I thought you hated that.
Well, it's just different, isn't it? I mean, I still can't get over the amount of people that are out there. I mean, I always thought people that stayed up till this time of night phoning radio stations were quite mad. Mind you, you've had some of those on tonight.
Yeah, haven't we just?
I hope I'm not one of them.
The first hour has been really strange
I've
so
always
far,
thought to myself, now why do people phone up radio stations at that time of night? And when I heard the guy on from Camberley saying that he'd just driven past the store, I thought, I'm one of those people. I better ring and admit to it.
You're one of those, no question about that, Sue.
No, that's right.
Listen, I've got to go. Thanks a lot.
Okay, happy Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Yes, bye.
What a nice lady. 0500 1053 89. I'm Nick Abbott, in for Ian. This is Talk Radio.
Christmas on 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio. It's your last Talk Radio.
And talking of bizarre and, like, slightly annoying, this is clipped out of one of the more highbrow tabloids. A lottery millionaire told yesterday how his good fortune had made him miserable as Scrooge. It's another one of these. In the old days, when he was just a humble cabbie, 44-year-old Bill Gore used to enjoy saving up his wages to buy presents. But everything changed 4 months ago when he scooped the £1,095,000 jackpot. And now that he can afford to buy anybody anything, he just doesn't get the same kick out of Christmas. Giving made me feel much better before I was rich, said Billy. And many of his former friends seem to have lost the old spirit of seasonal goodwill towards him. Instead of wishing him a happy Christmas, they make sarcastic remarks about his newfound wealth. He was forced to give up work in the face of taunts from colleagues and blah, 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 and so on and so on and so on. Another one of these people who play the lottery, win the money, and then moan about it. I have to say, if I won a rollover 20 million, it wouldn't make me depressed. And I don't care how many psychologists you can bring forward and say, oh, well, you know, it's not the route to happiness. And, you know, a lot of people are very upset because it turns over their lives, and suddenly they have to, you know, give up work because it's not tenable anymore, and they have to make new friends because their old ones, you know, forget all that. Just give me the money. How about, now, who's been waiting the longest? It looks like Tony, who's on a mobile in Manchester. Tony, how are you?
Hello. I wouldn't mind all that cash anyway.
Yeah, me too.
I want to just have a quick comment on these mad shoppers, right? Because the thing is, the shops are only closed for one day. What's the matter with them all?
Well, yeah, that is the bizarre thing. Yeah, it's not like
they just buy a bit extra, like the day before.
It's not like you have to stock up for the winter. This
is exactly what this is. My argument.
It's like 2 days at the most. And most people
on Boxing Day.
And, well, yeah, most people will have like a corner shop that will be open probably on Christmas Day too.
Exactly.
So you know, it's something like, and you see people going into the shops and buying like 10 loaves of bread and like 8 pints of milk.
Unless they're having like 10,000 people around for like Christmas din-dins and that, it's all going to be going off anyway, or rotting away in the fridge and stuff.
It's like people are moving to Alaska and they're going to be snowed in for the winter.
I just can't understand where these people are getting the mentality. I had some things that I had to get anyway, because I'm just lazy, man. I leave everything to the last minute. So I thought, right, let's go in then. Let's do these little things that I've got to do. So I went in there and I was walking around and got some things. Next thing is maybe 25 tills. About 7 of them had people on them, right? So I thought, well, we'll pick a till.
What? No, I think he just forgot himself, did he? Were you listening to this? Yeah, I couldn't figure out what he said. He said, it was the accent that sort of got me, and it's I think I probably just did the right thing by dumping him. Yeah, well, thanks anyway, mate. If you didn't, like, forget yourself and say something that you shouldn't have done, then I'm sorry to have cut you off, but if you did, then I'm not sorry. But you know, because he carried on saying, and I thought, what did he say? But basically, he saw the big queue and he said, and had to leave. But it's just that little gap there. I couldn't figure out quite what he said, but he's gone anyway, and you never heard it, despite the fact that I underlined it and I drew it to your attention, but you didn't hear it. Now, this is something that, by the way, there's a chap who has put up an internet site. If you've got a computer, it's worth checking this out. And I know this is going to sound a bit crap coming from me, because it's about me, but I don't have a computer, but I went to one of these internet cafes where, you know, you can hire the internet for half an hour or whatever it is. I don't really understand. Somebody had to come and talk me through it. But he set up a site about me, and it is really quite impressive. Never having seen one of these things before, I looked up myself, which is a pretty neat trick if you can do it. And it's the address, and you have to read this really quite accurately, because if you get one wrong, then you start zooming up. You probably download some of that hot pornography if you... So please dial correctly. It's www.compura.com/Nick-Abbott, which is ABBOT. And he keeps faxing me every time I'm on the air to read that out. And he's done such a tremendous job that I'm happy to do it. And it's, if you're in... Homepage. Homepage. That's what it's called. It's your homepage. But does that imply that I have something to do with this? Not necessarily. Okay, it's my homepage. And my home address, by the way, is right there on these pages, so please, just to show up at the flat anytime you feel lonely. 0500 1053 89. I'll do a lightning round. Oh, it looks like the first hour is gone. It's too late. Not now, later. And can we have a few fewer calls about late-night shopping? Because, you know, I can only talk about vegetables. So I'll be talking to vegetables for virtually the whole of the program. And talking about vegetables, you know, just a little too much. Here's Paul is in Liverpool. Hello, Paul.
Hello there.
You're on Talk Radio.
Hi, yeah.
That was a dreadful thing to say, by the way, talking to vegetables. You know, you understand that was just a joke. It was a joke in very poor taste, but...
well, they are full of pesticides anyway, you know.
Everybody is full of pesticides.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not doing us any good.
That's it. You see, you don't know what they put into these vegetables these days, do you?
That's the thing is like people give up meat because they think it'll, you know, and just eating vegetables will be good for them. But they're full of the thing that has been implicated in the Gulf War syndrome.
But what it is with the BSE as well, you know, and the cows, you see, they got fed sheep fodder by the farmers just to fatten them up.
And they also get, there was this program on Channel 4 a long time ago about some bloke had a sort of off-the-wall idea of what BSE was caused by.
It's like scrapie in sheep, you know, the brains.
But what he was saying is that cows actually get sprayed with organophosphates to stop ticks landing on them because it ruins the leather.
Yeah.
You understand? Because they, I don't know exactly what it is, but basically it stops, yeah, just explain it, ticks and flies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they douse cows in pretty much the same sort of stuff as they dip sheep in. And he was saying that that's what's driving all the cows mad, not the stuff that they're eating, it's the things that we're pouring on them. And those same things they're pouring on our vegetables. So there's no cause for concern. You'll be okay, don't worry about it.
It's weird because, like, us humans, we started off from a small microorganism, and that's what we'll end up as one of them, you see. And it's coming down the food chain. That's what will eventually kill us all off, I think, myself.
Wow, this is almost like a David Attenborough show now. How profound.
Yeah. It is. It's deep, isn't it? It's deep stuff.
Dust to dust.
Very deep. Yeah.
So. Oh, was that it? Or was there something else? I thought we were just... Or was that your topic?
I just wanted to speak about, you know, you've gained a lot of confidence for being on the radio. What was you like before you started on the radio program itself?
What, tonight, you mean, or...?
Well, when you first started out, you didn't have much confidence, but since you've been on the radio, you've gained a lot. Do you think that's an advantage or a disadvantage?
I'm a little confused as to how you know. I mean, have we met?
No, I'm a bit psychic, you see.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know. It's radio people are funny. It's a very weird business. Like, show business people in general are a bit weird.
Yeah.
But radio people are particularly strange because they have chosen, a long time ago, to sit in a small room and talk to people they can't see.
That's it.
And if you don't do a talk show, you're not actually talking to anybody at all. I mean, this is kind of like having a phone conversation with a stranger. Well, it is having a phone... It's not like it. It is having a phone conversation with a stranger. But if you're a DJ, you're just talking to nobody. What kind of a bizarre thing is that to do? And if you meet DJs, and you meet a lot of them, and it's not something that I recommend, then you will find out that what I'm saying is absolutely true. People who in radio are weird, like significantly more weird than any other branch of showbiz. Because the people who do TV, they're surrounded by other people. But radio, yeah, you can be the only person in the building.
Yeah.
And it's just a very, very bizarre thing to want to do, to shut yourself in a badly decorated small room and talk to a great big microphone. And you never knowing whether anybody's actually listening to you or not.
What I think about as well, you know, Chris Evans, he started out in the Big Breakfast, and, like, he's moved on now to such a big, popular program at CFI Friday.
Well, yeah.
He moved on from the Big Breakfast and done Radio 1 programs on the radio, and he moved on...
What is this, by the way? Giving lists of our competitors. Can we have a little less of that?
That's it.
And he is, like, the last person that I want to talk about. 0500 1053 89. It's a free... I think we should make these calls more expensive. No, seriously, if they made these calls like £10 a go, then people would really, they'd like take notes, and they'd have speeches ready, and wouldn't that be great? 0500 1053 89. It's free calls, Talk Radio. Oh, look, it's a call in Uxbridge. I used to live there.
Really?
Gerard, how are you? What a vile, disgusting, ugly place Uxbridge is.
It is, isn't it? It's awful. I wish someone would just, like, blow it up.
Yeah, and replace it with something nice, like, I don't know, in an airport, for instance.
Well, we've got Northolt, which is nearby. and Heathrow next door.
Ickenham.
And Ickenham, that's where I do live, but more people know Uxbridge than Ickenham.
Do you understand how you live there? So you probably haven't. What was that? 2 minutes. Say it not on my headphones. Say it on the air, because like I'll stop speaking to listen to you, and they won't have any. They'll think that I've lost it. So say it on the air. 2 minutes to go. Okay. Right. So set your watch. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, because you live there, you probably don't have any idea that it sounds as ugly as it is. Uxbridge, Ickenham, and Ruislip, and they sound as bad as they actually are. And what are you doing living in Uxbridge, by the way?
I've got no choice, really. Well, because I live here, so...
Right.
I've lived here since birth, so...
Well, are you, like, chained down or something? Is somebody preventing you leaving?
Well, because I'm scrounging off my parents.
That's the main reason. Money.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Money and somebody to do your washing and cook your food and,
I go to college in London, then you go to London, it's all nice and jolly and lots of lights, then you come back to Ickenham, and it's just boring.
Now, you go to university?
Yes.
Now, and you chose not to go to Brunel, which is in Uxbridge.
Brunel, great place, honest. No, I didn't.
Well, no, so you made the choice to go to a university or college that was just far enough away so that your parents didn't have control of your everyday life.
Exactly.
And so just far enough away so you didn't have to come home every day, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, good choice. And listen, we're going to have to go because this sounds like my music, and we're going to get the new news. But thanks a lot, mate. If you're thinking about going to university, by the way, trust me when I tell you, don't go to one that's nearby, although your parents will probably want you to. Because that would mean that you have to come home, like, virtually on a daily basis, and they'll have, like, control over your life, and they'll be wanting to know why you're coming in drunk, and, all the rest of it. Go to one that's just far enough away so you don't have to go home all the time, but just near enough so you can come home and have them do your washing.
Have you entered Christmas on 10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio.
All right, you go on. Well, go on, I was earlier on.
Why go on? Because it's my job.
What's happened?
What has happened?
Have you been having me on? Have you been having me on?
There's a parrot in the background.
Get out of it. You've been winding me up, haven't you?
No, I've been having you on. Do you have any idea what you're talking about?
You little sex up, and now she'll suss you out before the week's out.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Nick. Get you all over, darling.
Good one. Stop playing my effects in. I'll come in there and I will... Mrs. Hole.
Everyone fell in love with you, you're so natural. You could be nasty at times, though.
Oh, no, come on, there's nothing nasty about me. Is it okay so far? Don't answer that.
.53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio. Nick Abbott on Talk Radio.
One of the people that was in that little montage was Powder Puff. Well, I know he's a regular caller on this, and when I was doing this over the summer, he used to call me up too. And I can't believe he hasn't given me a ring. I feel like lonely and forlorn. Because there's something that I would like to share with him, and this is something I did last week when I was doing this show. A hospitality scheme intended to offer warmth and comfort to 210 homesick American sailors aboard the USS Aubrey Fitch, moored at Plymouth, has attracted offers of help from adventurous single women as well as families. The scheme, called Dial a Sailor, has received 300 calls in 3 days. This is like last week's story. I saved it. Most offer Christmas dinner, but others are from women wanting to meet a sailor of a particular age group. Yeah. So there's something for you to think about. 0500 1053 89. I'm going to set up a lightning round, not now, very shortly. There will be one later. And it's going to be I am. Just finish that sentence. I am. But first, here's a bloke who's been waiting a dog's age. Is in Burbage, and he's called Russell.
Hello, Nick.
Where's Burbage?
It's in Leicestershire.
Ah, right.
On the border of Warwickshire.
Is it?
Yeah. Lovely little village.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Just a question, Nick. I'd like to ask you, if you could have a one-to-one with somebody, past or present, who would it be and what would you ask them and why?
Oh, can we start with the easy questions? I need notice of questions like these. Who would it be? A one-to-one?
Yeah. It's just like the advert with the one-to-one with John McCarthy.
Yeah, I know. How many product placements are we going to have on this show? Can I say it really clearly? No advertising. Right, well, my initial reaction would be to have a one-to-one with a bloke called Neil Rogers, who's a talk show host in America, and he's like the major reason why I'm doing this, why I stopped wanting to be a DJ and wanted to start being a talk show host. But that's not really the sort of answer you want, because you've probably never heard of him.
No, I haven't, no.
How about, well, Kenny Everett, there's another one.
Kenny, what would you pick Kenny Everett? Out of all the people in the world that actually, I know Kenny Everett was a good DJ and he's a good person.
He's the only radio genius that this country's ever produced. But as to what question I'd ask him?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
I thought it was mine would be Christopher Columbus. What was going through his I'd ask him what was going through his mind. Was he expecting to fall off the end of the earth? Or when he went through the mist, what was it like to see a parrot for the first time? And things like, because nobody of this side of the ocean has ever seen one. And actually, what was it like? What was going through his mind when it actually happened? Things like that, to actually done something in the world. Like Gagarin, I think McCarthy was another guy with Gagarin. What was it like to be the first man actually going out the atmosphere into space?
That was a particularly good choice. I've seen that advert and I thought, yeah, if I had to come up with one, I'd be hard-pressed to beat that. Because, and like I say, I don't really want to get into too much advertising, but let's talk about Yuri Gagarin. The question, what did it feel like to be completely unknown one day and to be the most famous person on the planet the next? That must have been bizarre. I mean, I wonder if it turned his mind. Did he go a bit, did he go nuts?
I've
got no idea. We need a historian to answer that question.
Yeah, I've been asking it since I've ever seen the actual thing. My people and my friends, and my father would rather be Henry V at Battle of Agincourt. He was totally outnumbered. But his strategy and his battle wits actually, beat the French, and he was vastly outnumbered. How did he win? How did he decide how to battle against that?
All right,
those kind of questions that I thought people, Kenny Everett, he was a very interesting guy. I don't know him personally or anything, he might do, but I thought somebody with a bit more history behind them.
Someone with a bit more gravitas. You wanted a more interesting answer than that. Okay, well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Communications is inviting individuals and companies to come up with a slogan for the Icelandic tourism industry. The offer has been advertised in the Icelandic media and made to foreign travel companies that sell trips to Iceland. Okay, so how about a slogan for the British tourist industry? See how hard it is? Just right off the top of your head.
Expensive would have been one thing. I've just been to a holiday.
How about Britain? It's okay.
Britain's fine. all through my childhood I've been on holiday in Britain, but the last few years I've been on away. I like the sites. I've just been to Thailand and came back, and the sites. Some of the sites.
Is this an answer? Is this an answer to my question?
Not really.
No.
I don't know the answer to the question. Really. I think for the money you could spend in somewhere like Blackpool, or somewhere you could spend abroad, I think you'd spend twice as much in England than you would do abroad.
Oh, you mean for the same money you could probably go, what, somewhere nice, you're saying? Well, that's a dreadful thing to say about... Do you have any idea how many calls we're going to get? Saying, Blackpool's really nice.
I love Blackpool. It's brilliant for kids, but when I was a kid, I always used to go there watching the illuminations.
Yeah, just as long as we don't start singing the praises of Brill. There's nothing wrong... There's nothing wrong with Brill.
I've never been there, so I can't comment.
Like a bulldozer couldn't cure.
Well, I actually like the exotic scenes. Like I went to a place called the Peepees in Thailand, and you could imagine like what Robinson Crusoe was like, and Christopher Columbus was like, going out to a place. It looked totally inhabited.
I can also imagine the look on the face of the people that you told where you were going on holiday. I'm going to the Peepees.
It actually spelled P-H-I, so it actually spelled that, but that's why they pronounce it. That's a gorgeous place. That's why I think I'd wonder what Christopher Columbus was doing.
Right, it's just as long as you don't decide next year to go to Phuket. Exactly.
Yeah, I actually went. Actually went to Phuket.
Is that how you pronounce it?
No, you don't actually. Well, you do pronounce it that way, yeah, but a lot of people make the mistake of pronouncing it the other way.
And that's not the kind of mistake that we want to make on this show. Next hour, maybe, but not this early. All right, thanks a lot, mate.
Thanks very much.
0500 1053 89. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott. This is Talk Radio. Let's have one in... to be fair, this bloke waiting the longest in Balak. See, now, there's another one that you've got to be really careful about. Balak. Hello, Sammy.
Hi, I'm here.
Now, did I pronounce that right?
Aye.
Okay. What's up?
I was just wanting to see if I could talk about drinking that at Christmas. I don't think it's right. But people drinking that.
Don't think it's right that people drink in that. What does that mean?
What?
He's not too sure. Okay, well, as soon as you have some idea as to what it is that you're talking about, then you call us right back. Can't wait. 0500 1053 89. It's a free call. Like I said before, these calls should be much more expensive. Here's one in Guildford. Hello, John.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm going to take one more call and I'm going to set up a lightning round. And it works like you just finish a sentence, and the sentence is I am. Last week I did I want, because, like I said before, it was the season to be wanting. And how about I am? Anything you like, just finish that sentence. I don't want like a great big long conversation with you, and it's like the perfect time to call a radio show, because I know that most people who listen to this have got no intention of ever calling. They just want to hear the types that do. And so it's like you won't be mentioned by name, nobody will know who you are or where you come from. You just like finish that sentence and then you're gone. And it'll also be the easiest time you'll ever get to call a radio show, because the lines will be coming free almost instantaneously. The number is 0500 1053 89. Just finish the sentence. I am. A lightning round coming up, and back with you now, John.
It's great you're back.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Nice
really
to be
good.
back.
You mentioned snowpake.
Even though it is a full moon.
That woman that wrapped up boxes with nothing in, or didn't pull her crackers.
Yeah.
You said she probably snowpake names off Christmas.
And that was that was advertising, wasn't it?
Have you ever seen it? Because didn't they stop making it like a million years ago?
Oh, they did? Oh, well, what a tremendous relief. Because you can mention products that aren't available anymore, but it's like using the word for a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
That word beginning with H.
Like on Blue Peter when they used to cover everything up with tape.
Yeah, but you could tell what it was because because you know what the logo looks like.
Yeah. I want to talk about
pointless.
Bank workers.
Want to talk about bank workers?
These ones that are on strike because they don't want to work tomorrow afternoon.
Are they on strike or are they just leaving early?
Well, they're fed up. They're sending Father Christmas round to demonstrate or something in London because they don't want to work on Christmas Eve afternoon. Well, show me a bank worker who works after 3:30 anyway, I thought. You know what I mean? They've got these 24-hour things now. They're all whinging about the fact they're closing branches. And they don't want to work.
I find that, until relatively recently, banks, as you say, used to close at 3:30. Now they stay up until 4 if they're feeling really generous.
Schools down, don't they?
And I don't really understand how any business that's a legal, decent, honest and true and above board can't open from 9 till 5. What is this 10 till 3 stuff?
Yeah.
And so they're saying that they don't want to work on Christmas Eve, so they're going on strike.
Yeah, it's the Christmas Eve afternoon they've always had off, and now they've said, I think it's Lloyds and TSB have said, no, you're going to work. And they've said, no, we're not, thanks very much. And they're not going to work. It's like if you go to the States and you can get a coffee at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can get whatever you want.
Well, I'm thinking of going on strike myself for tomorrow. I'll only be speaking every other minute, and for 60 seconds in between there'll be just complete silence.
Yeah.
From 1 till 5. Yeah.
I went to 24-hour shopping and they'd run out of mince pies today. 2 days before Christmas.
couldn't get the Christmas pudding I wanted either. You know, that special one that wins all the awards, and it gets sold out almost before you arrive at the store. So I had to get a non-luxury one.
Not an economy one.
Well, yeah, I'm afraid it was. Yeah, it was an economy Christmas pudding. Talk about depressing. But it was all... Oh, great. Now, there's like bottom of the hamster's cage, or there's little round, chewy bits. But, yeah, economy Christmas pudding. How pathetic is that?
That would be awful.
Well, we'll find out. I'll probably come in and share it with you. I'll post little bits to, you know, like, I'll do like a contest on the air and post little chunks.
That'd be good.
Stand by your door. All right, thanks a lot, John.
Cheers, mate.
0500 1053 389. One more, and then we're going to do a lightning round, and that one is in, well, it looks like Baillieston.
That's right, Nick.
Is that right?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm all right.
It's the last time I spoke to you was your summer show there, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to hear you back again.
My summer tour.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. All 3 weeks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what you're saying there, Nick, about the slogan for the British tourist industry. Let me run this one by you. Comes to Britain, and after all, who else wants you? How about that?
Well, who's that aimed at?
That's aimed at everybody.
Who else wants you?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, well, you look at the way you were treated in Europe, all these places. I mean, the French don't like us, the Spanish don't like us. You know? Come to Britain, because no one else wants you.
The Spanish, well, the French don't like us because they're next door to us, and like countries all over the world don't like their next door neighbour. But the Spanish don't like us because we go over there in huge numbers. and you find that the Dutch in Amsterdam aren't generally too keen on us either, because we go over there in huge numbers as well.
We give them in their coffee bars, Nick.
And I'm
yourself and I.
and I'm some of that coffee just goes down really well, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially those little cakes.
But you find that any place that gets tourists from one destination.
Yeah, they'll tolerate you, like
well, they just don't like you because people abroad act appallingly. And you go to Spain and like the Costa del Sol and Ibiza and the fish and chip abroad nightmare destinations. You know what I mean? Where everybody goes over there and they're like animals.
Yeah.
And no wonder everybody abroad hates us.
Have you ever been to Japan before?
Japan, I haven't.
Yeah.
No.
A good friend of mine was there a couple of weeks back, and I mean, obviously I'm Scottish. He said, BC being British over there, it's the best thing to be. I think Japan's the only Brit-friendly place you've got in the whole world.
Well, that's because we haven't gone over there in great numbers.
Went over
give us a few years, and they'll hate us too.
Yeah, I was just on the serious side though. Seeing you know your turkey, you know you put it in the fridge. I mean, how long is it safe for in the fridge?
Well, I haven't eaten meat in about 15 years, so I'm like the wrong person to ask.
Somebody told me it was 3 months. I put one in last night, I got up this morning, it was dead. What's it all about?
If only...
Oh, no.
If only I had something... If only I had this lined up, then it would have been beautiful, wouldn't it? Thanks a lot, mate. Gotta go.
Nice to hear you, mate.
0500 1053 89. It's a lightning round. You will be assigned a number. As soon as you hear your number, that means you're on the air, and all you have to do is complete the sentence, I am. That was the sentence that I gave out, wasn't it? I am? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. If it wasn't, then you can always correct me. So I don't want like a great big long conversation for just this short period, and then we'll do the ads, and then I'll come back and we can talk about, like normal things. But for this brief period, it'll be your ideal time to call a radio show. You won't be named or... Well, here... number 2.
I am strong, for today I have dined on brass.
Now, hang on a sec. Did you just dump that? Yeah, you should tell me that you did that, because I just went straight to the next call. You're not allowed to say that? Come on. Oh, he's like overcautious. I would be amazed if you couldn't get away with that. The B word you can't say? Are you serious? It's 2:20 in the morning. Who are we going to offend? Get out the rule book and look it up, because I'm sure there's a list of what you can and can't. No, I know there is. There's like a list of 100 things that you can and can't say. The first 10 are what you can say, and the 90 that follow it are what you can't. So have a little conversation in there with but do it on the air. So, is this... are you both in agreement that you can't say that?
I didn't actually hear what he said.
It was the B word. As in, I cut myself and I am... You understand?
Oh, right, yeah. You can say that.
See? Talk about overcautious.
He's very overcautious. He's been getting very enthusiastic about having the chance to dump something. I think he's just had his moment.
Mm-hmm. Should I dump myself?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, like out into the street would be a good place. Well, okay, well, so the fun pauses for just a brief period, and everybody that's holding, we'll get back to you after the ad break. It's, you know, I'd like the delay to build up just a little bit. Not that I don't have complete confidence in this audience, but, you know, better safe than sacked. So I'll be coming back with the lightning round, and we'll see if we can get through it without any major hiccups. 0500 1053 89. This is Talk Radio.
From the new year, something new will be happening at lunchtimes on Talk Radio. I'm Lorraine Kelly, and I'll be here Monday to Fridays from mid...
Talk Radio.
So James was doing the buttons in there. It's a little bit trigger happy. But that's okay. If in doubt, shop is out. 0500 1053 89. I'm Nick Abbott, in for Ian. All this week, we're doing a lightning round right now, and you have to complete the sentence, I am. So here we go, number one.
I am sick and tired of smokers and dogs. They are a menace to society.
Smokers and dogs. The thing about smoking, it's, just to pause for just 1 second so I can get this off my chest, is I just don't get it. You know, smoking is something I just don't get. You smoke to relieve the pain of not smoking. What kind of a drug is that? It's insane. You know, apart from it makes you stink, and, you know, everybody else has to breathe. You might as well, like, put your mouth over a car exhaust, or like, set fire to the carpet. It's just awful. You know, apart from all the bad things that go with it, and you can't breathe, and you can't run for a bus, and you get all these horrible complications, and you die a really slow, painful death. Apart from all of that, what do you get from smoking? You get a relief from the pain of not doing it. That's got to be the stupidest drug I ever heard of. I mean, I can understand other drugs, but, you know, because you get, there is a reason for taking them. People take drugs, just like they take alcohol, to get to some other mental place. But tobacco doesn't do that for you, apart from that sort of rush that you get if you haven't smoked in a long time, which only lasts like a couple of seconds. That sort of really giddy, sort of sickening, heady rush that you get from the nicotine. The thing about that, it's just really confused me all my life. It's like, why do it? And, you know, when I was at school and I was pretending to be hard with the lads, I used to sit in the back of the bus and, you know, have a number 6. Do they still sell those? I've got absolutely no idea. It's probably one of those brands that don't exist anymore. And, Capstan Full Strength, if you were trying to be really hard, which were absolutely... But I never actually enjoyed it, which I'm very grateful for, because I do understand that it's hard to give up once you enjoy it too much. But I just don't. It's a drug that I just don't understand. Okay, so a very slow lightning round so far. It's taken up most of this hour so far. Here, and we're completing the sentence, I am. Number 2. Number 2 died during that last tobacco explanation. Number 3.
I am very pleased to hear Nick Abbott back on Talk Radio.
Oh, how sweet. Thanks a lot, Dad.
And I'm drunk.
But not smoking. Good for you. No. Number 4. Whoa, was that me? I'm sorry about that. I pressed that accidentally. And with you now, number 4.
I am a transvestite.
How do you know?
Because I love wearing stockings, stilettos, and suspenders.
Oh, well, that
especially for you.
That would be a clue. Yeah. 5.
I am. Am I?
I am. Therefore, I drink. Number 6. Number 6 is like a heavy breather.
No, it's me. I am a grandma again.
Again?
Yes.
How did that happen?
Well, that was yesterday morning, 5:30, my third granddaughter, and I'm very proud.
But it just happened just now?
No, yesterday morning, 5:30.
Oh! It's a tremendous,
And I love being a grandma.
I bet.
I do.
So did you get it anything for Christmas? Or is it like too late notice?
No, it wasn't, because we knew it was going to be a little girl beforehand. So I sent a Christmas present down.
Was it the colour pink?
Yes.
I knew it!
Yeah.
Don't you understand that you're perpetuating the sexism that's rife in our society? Why didn't you send it something blue?
I wanted a grandson because I had two girls anyway, but as long as she was healthy, that was
But you just had to conform. Because it was a girl, you had to send her something pink.
Well,
isn't that sweet?
That's it, yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, Granny.
Bye.
0500 1053 89. Let's wipe the board clean and go through one more time. And then after these 6, then we'll talk about, well, you know, usual rubbish. 05, I said that, didn't I? Number 1.
I'm a farmer, and I likes my sheep, I do.
And number 2.
Number 2, I am missing Ian Collins, no offence.
3.
I am on, I am gone.
4.
I am your worst nightmare.
Oh, no. 5.
I am an ugly bag of water.
Okay, in an evening of weird and bizarre calls, that is the strangest so far. I am an ugly bag of water. 6.
I am an exploding cow. Moo, boom!
Okay, like I said, in an evening full of weird calls. Now, tomorrow it's not a full moon, is that right? We've got that really clear. It's today. I just had to get through today, right? So tomorrow will be fine. So the number is 0500 1053 89, and I'll do another lightning round later. Not now, later. So let's have some, usual rubbish. Wanted, ways to spend £20 million on the millennium. At least 20 million from the National Lottery will be made available to to fund local celebrations of the millennium all around the country, the Millennium Commission said yesterday. In spite of continued uncertainty about the future of the £700 million Millennium exhibition planned to be built at Greenwich. Like, why bother? It's going to be a great big dome with what in it? Does anybody have any idea what will be in it? And will it be worth like the 20 quid that it'll cost to get in? It's just going to be a load of companies showing us their wares. It'll be like a big shop. Who wants to, so what? And they're building it on a site that's poisonous. That doesn't sound like such a great idea to me. And it's all the way out in Greenwich. People just, there's so much that doesn't make sense about that. And, why bother? All of this money for an exhibition, for what reason? Because we're about to reach the number 2,000. It was surely a better reason than that. It's going to be built on the banks of the Thames. Spokesman for the Commission said that a string of smaller scale projects, to be known collectively as the Millennium Festival, will go ahead, which would make much more sense to me than one great big dome that, everybody in the country is going to come to? Can't see it. So they're going to spend 700 million on the big dome, and they've only got 20 million to fund the smaller ones all over the country. So there again, that just makes tons of sense, doesn't it? Virginia Bottomley will launch a consultation paper on the festival next Monday when it will invite suggestions from interested parties on how the money can best be spent. But I bet they won't be asking you. So I am. And here's one in Leeds. Hello, Simon.
Hi.
How are you?
I'd like to talk about UFOs.
I'd like to talk about the X-Files last night. That was the strangest X-Files I've ever seen in my life. What was that about? Does anybody have any idea?
No.
Does anybody have a clue?
No, I was watching it and it didn't make any sense.
I mean, they sometimes do get strange, but were they on like a nicotine rush when they were making that program? Because from start to finish, it was just bizarre.
Yeah,
I bet people were staying up all night talking about it on the internet too.
I think people that go on the internet are a bit strange. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
The internet? Well, now, the internet in general, or just people who who become sort of pen pals about topics that nobody cares about?
No, I don't know.
Or just the information superhighway doesn't appeal to you in
a lot
general?
of information there, but it's just rubbish.
But it's like something, most of it's stuff that you don't need to know, or
I think you can find out some stuff from it, but I don't know. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was...
Well, I spent about 3 hours on it at one of these cafes, and it just looked like really deeply boring to me, because if you surf the net, in other words, if you don't have an actual site to go to, dull. I mean, really, really dull. It's like reading the telephone directory, because you'll tap in a word that you might be interested in, because you don't know the actual address, and you say, search this word, whatever it might be. Music or somebody's name or anything. And it'll come back saying, oh yeah, there's 102,000 entries. Where would you like to start? So it's just pathetic. They've got to get that sorted.
Yeah.
So anyway.
UFOs.
UFOs.
Mm-hmm. I think they exist, basically.
Oh, the typical talk show standby. If it's not ghosts, it's UFOs.
Yeah, well...
We're going to be talking about this now. Trust me, this will be the last call about UFOs on this show.
No, I think you should put them all through.
No way. I don't want any of them.
People have to wake up to the reality that they actually exist.
That the truth is out there.
Yeah.
Okay, and what evidence do you have to back up that suggestion?
I've seen one.
You've seen one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what did it look like to you?
A big red-green light, basically.
A big red and green light?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And moving very slowly, but it was quite small, but it was almost definitely a UFO.
I went out to this is a story I've probably told on the air before, but I went out to some famous entrepreneur's party, and he lived right out in the country, and so there wasn't any towns nearby or anything like that, and I went out into a field and was looking up at the stars, and there's some other people with us, and we were just like lying on our backs because the weight of the fun that we had been having had just got too much for us. So we were lying on our backs in the middle of a field looking at the stars, like you do. And it was like June or something like that. And there was so much activity in the sky. It was almost like a fireworks show. I've never seen... And things that I could put down as, like rocks, zooming across the sky and like flaring up as they hit the Earth's atmosphere and stuff like that, like real... They weren't stars and they weren't planes because they were going too fast, like flashes of light that would travel the whole distance of the sky. But other things were like moving along and then they'd stop. And these, I'm just talking about points of light, like they could have been stars but they were moving and then they'd stop and change direction and it couldn't have been a plane because of the way that it was moving, and it couldn't have been a helicopter because it was just up too high.
Was that when you were watching fireworks?
No, the show in the sky looked like it could have been fireworks, because it wasn't just an isolated incident. It was like stuff was happening all the time. Very bizarre. But and some things, like I say, the flashes across the sky, I could put them down to a little bit of space debris hitting the atmosphere and burning up. I can understand that. You can explain that away. But other things, very bizarre.
What you were saying about laying on the ground, I think that could have been due to the alcohol.
Oh, you think that it was a little bit of alcohol-induced illusion? Well, you could be right, except that if that was the case, then it was an illusion shared by the group. It wasn't just me who was seeing it. It's like everybody was seeing it.
Oh. You all drink the same, I don't know.
And so, all right, back to you, and briefly, this UFO you saw, I'm so sure.
Mm-hmm. You pessimistic about UFOs?
Well, despite what I've just described, yeah, kind of.
What? Yep. Hello.
Like I said, hello, Bobby.
And how are you?
All right.
Well, I would like to say, one thing is, over here is, we do have a lot of underage drinking. And what they do is, normally they stand on the street corners and they say, Mister, going into the off-license and get us
Oh,
a
they catch you going into the off-license. They say, can you get us a bottle of, no, I want to name a name, but it's like, it's like fortified wine, like the cheapest stuff they've got.
The cheapest stuff they've got, and normally, sometimes, whenever it happens, because...
Are you saying that you give in?
You know, what they do is they actually catch the people whenever they're coming out of the bar when they're full, just before 9 o'clock.
But I'm guessing that you say no. You do the decent thing and you say no. I'm guessing.
Have you entered Talk Radio?
All right, don't you go on.
Well, go on, I was earlier on.
I go on because it's my job.
What's happened?
What has happened?
Have you been having me on? Have you been having me on?
There's a parrot in the background.
Get out of it. You've been winding me up, haven't you?
No, I've been having you on. Do you have any idea what you're talking about?
You get with sex up, and I should flush you out before the week's out.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Nick. Get you all over, darling.
Good one. Yeah, stop playing my effects in. I will come in there and I will... Mrs. Hole.
Everyone fell in love with you, you know. You're so natural. You could be nasty at times, though.
Oh, no, come on. There's nothing nasty about me. Is it okay so far? Don't answer that.
.53, 1089 AM, Talk Radio. Nick Abbott on Talk Radio.
Right, now this is something I was doing last week, and I know you've heard this before. We're following our actual statements found on insurance forms where car drivers attempted to summarise the details of an accident in the fewest possible words. This is something that's been around every office in the land, but I'm guessing that you haven't heard it in, like 3-4 days now. So I did most of them when I was on last week. Some of them I didn't. Shall I repeat them all? Well, that'll be the rest of the show. I could just, read them all out. Really, really slowly. To avoid hitting the bumper of the car in front, I struck the pedestrian. My car was legally parked as it backed into the other vehicle. And an invisible car came out of nowhere, struck my car, and vanished. There's loads. I've also got... people have been sending me free material, which is brilliant. If you've got any, and you've got a fax number, and you could care one way or another, 0541 59 69 79 is the fax number. I've also got excuses for an ambulance service, fouling up, housing complaints, insurance claims, excuses given to teachers for absenteeism and all that sort of business. So there's something if I get desperate later on. 0500 1053 89. Also better do another lightning round. The topic is I am, so think about it. Not now, later. And it's a call about insomnia, I remember, in Birmingham. Hello, Clint.
Hello.
How are you?
No, I'm not too bad, chap. I've listened to a radio sometime. It's the first time I've actually called. I was going to talk about insomnia. But to clear up this name on what I believe they would call the euro coin is something called the EQ or whatever, ECU.
Yeah, but people aren't. No, that's what it's called. That's the economic, the European currency units. But people won't call it that either.
I mean, apart from, I don't think it's going to happen anyway. Yeah. And if we do, I'm only 28, but according to my mum, when they brought in decimalisation into this country, people lost out immediately because of it.
Oh, you mean prices went up?
Yeah.
Of course. Any excuse?
I think if they do the same again, the same thing would happen.
Of course, some of the old money was much better than the money that we have now. Well, like, we used to have a threepenny bit. Anybody remember a threepenny bit? What a fantastic coin that was. And sixpences, they were good too. The old 2 pences, though, they were complete pain, because talk about heavy. And huge as well. They were like 3 inches across, those old 2p bits.
Somebody was talking earlier on this evening about legalisation of cannabis.
No, they weren't. What, on this show?
No, on a previous show.
Oh, right.
Apparently they've just legalised it in, is it California?
No, they haven't legalised it.
Well, they've decriminalised it, yeah? As long as you've got sort of a medical condition.
That's correct, yes.
Now, I've been smoking cannabis. Really, it's a question of own personal definition as to what is heavy or whatever, since I was 16. Now, I work in a nightclub, basically all weekend. I get in about 4 o'clock in the morning. And from Monday to Thursday, you've got this large devoid where you try to go to bed at a normal time, should we say like 10 or 11 or whatever, and get up in the morning. You can't do it. Now, I don't drink. I never have done. I have landed jobs as I stick my 2 fingers up in the air and go whilst stoned. But you see, taking drugs is a very personal thing, yeah?
Yeah, okay, well, keep it personal. Like, sharing it with us. Sharing what you do illegally is like, you know, it's not too good for, well, I'm thinking my career. 0500 1053 89. But on the subject, this is in The Guardian, the Jackdaw column, which pulls bits out of, you know, hither and thither to fill up a space that they ordinarily wouldn't have any news to fit in. And isn't it funny, by the way, that there's always just enough news to completely fill a paper? There's never any, like, blank bits. It just doesn't matter what day it is. There's always enough happens to fill it completely. Do you ever wonder how, like, bizarre that is? Because some days, they must have, like, a slow news day, and they would leave blanks. But there's always just enough to fit. Doesn't that strike anybody else as being weird? So the Jackdaw column, which, as I say, they pull off bits that other people have written in order to fill up the blank space where they, you know, ordinarily wouldn't sell any advertising. Toronto's Church of the Universe. Their mission is to worship God and live with the tree of life, marijuana, in harmony with the universe. And the explanation of this is, alas, so devoutly has the Bishop Reverend Brother Michael J. Baldassaro, a bishop of the Church of the Universe, been spreading the good news that he was recently hauled up before the beak and charged with trafficking in his sacrament of faith. A court report on the Church of the Universe's website reveals that he appeared before the Justices of Peace wearing his underpants on his head in protest at being relieved of his natty hemp gear. And I say that just for your amusement and information, and for like no other, like for no good reason at all, as a matter of fact. How about one in, oh no, who's been waiting the longest? Let's be completely fair about this. It looks like Southampton, and it's a woman called Jean. Hello, Jean, you're on Talk Radio.
Nick. I was worried about this dome thing.
The what?
The money they're going to spend on the dome.
Oh, the dome, yeah.
Yeah. What about a referendum as to what we could spend this money on? I don't remember anybody asking my opinion, do you?
Well, how would you go about having a referendum? I mean, what are you going to give people like a list and they would tick stuff? Or are we going to have just a blank where you fill it in and then it'll be like 1 million people sorting out the replies into piles?
Well,
it'd be impossible to do.
I hadn't thought that through, but my suggestion anyway for it is that we show some charity for the millennium and cancel the third world debt.
Well, I mean, that sounds like very fine, but don't you think we have problems enough of our own?
Well, I think we do, but compared with the third world, I think they're pretty petty, don't you?
Well, no. Well, in a scale, yes. But you tell that to somebody who's sleeping in the doorway of a shoe shop tonight.
Yeah, I
with their all of their worldly possessions in a tatty shopping bag beside them, and not really knowing whether they're going to wake up dead.
Yeah, I realise all that, but I'd still prefer to see it go to the third world than to go into the bricks and mortar of the dome.
Okay, well, that's a beautiful thought, Jean.
Well, it's just one amongst many.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay,
0500 1050, thanks a lot, Jean. 0500 1050 389. What a nice lady. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott, in for Ian, and it looks like, oh, here's another call in Belfast. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
How are you?
And how are you?
Good.
I've heard quite a few things, and I would like to say Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks a lot.
Just to start the night off.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like to say is, over here, yeah, nice to hear of a ceasefire, but it's probably
like Sham69 sang in their song. Hurry up, Harry. There's too many gaps in your speech.
All right.
Speed it along a bit.
Gaps in the speech, but what I would like to say is the best of Christmas for everybody on the radio that's listening, and the best of Merry Christmas for everyone
who isn't
on the radio. But what I would like to say is,
we'll get there eventually. There's bound to be a point, like somewhere along the line.
What the point is what you were saying earlier on was, what do you think about this driving license stuff?
What do I think about this driving license stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think you could be a little more specific? Well, to be honest with you, I don't have the faintest idea what it is you're talking about.
All I would like to say is, over here is, we have a photograph on our driving license. In England, you don't.
Right.
Right. So, what I would like to say is, put a photograph on your license so as everybody knows who they are.
And you can also put, like, your address on the license so you remember where to park. Okay, what a great thought. 0500 1050 389. It's a free call. And how about one in Feltham? Hello, John.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Thanks a lot.
Giggles on the phone. I phoned earlier when I phoned in. Lady started giggling when I phoned in my idea for the euro.
You've been giggling?
No, she was giggling.
Who was giggling?
The lady who answered the phone.
Oh, that was no lady.
Well, you said it. I didn't know. How about CON? European Economic Monetary Unit, CON.
How about you? How about you? Maybe they'll call them U's.
CON. That'd be 5 cons, please. They usually are.
How about U's? Maybe we'll just shorten it to U's. 15 U's. But see, that's not a very punchy thing either. I think the name has got to have like one of those explosive starts. What do they call those? Like a B or a D or a P. U. It's just like euro. It's just such a wet word. It's got to be something. It's got to have a little punch to it. You know what I mean? How about Kirby? You got a name for it, Tom?
Tom, yeah. Yeah, I had about 15 Roo. Because we're rude today, I started.
Everybody's got, like, negative thoughts about this. Cons and rue the day. And what's so bad about peace, love, and the European currency unit? Or whatever it's called. What is it? Economic currency unit. Yeah. Just because it's not a pound anymore, so what?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a better-looking note.
It might be, you never know.
Well, we do know, because we've taken a peek. Yeah. Just as long as, because eventually all of these notes will change, as all countries' notes do. And it would be better if it changed more in the direction of the French money, because that looks like works of art. It looks like stuff that hangs on the walls of art galleries, rather than going in the direction of the Dutch money, which looks like something that comes with a board game. Dutch money is so pathetic. It's like a child of 10 designed it. Awful. So, just as long as it doesn't make us look stupid, that would be okay. Here's one in, it's the peace process in Ireland. No, get rid of that, Clyde. Well, let me do it. Brian.
Yeah, what do you mean get rid of that guy?
You want to talk about the peace process in Ireland?
I thought you were probably getting sick of Irish people calling in all night long.
No, not at all, because none of them wanted to talk about the peace process in Ireland.
At least this one sober makes a change for you, I suppose. Yeah, I just wondered, the government is putting a lot of effort into trying to sort out the situation in Ulster. I don't think they've got a hope in hell, but, you know, they got to try, I suppose. I just wondered, they have excluded Sinn Féin continually.
Can I stop you there? Because this doesn't have... I know that we're not really talking about anything very much, but that's the point of what I do, and this really isn't the forum to talk about something as serious as that. You know, almost every other person on this radio station would be glad to have a chat with you about that, but I'm trying desperately. I know it might not seem like it this evening, but I'm desperately trying to do a comedy show here, and that's just, I mean, talk about a downer.
All right, let me throw in something about the insurance policies in Belgium. Do you want to talk comedy?
Are you serious?
The biggest deterrent these people have got to having accidents and road rage in Belgium is the fact that when you're insured there, you have to carry about this little form with you in one of the 3 official languages, or English, or anything else that's understandable. When you have a crash or an accident there, each party has got to get out, and they've got to fill out their own form in triplicate, and then they've got to exchange with the other party, and they've got to fill out this whole thing too. You know what, I've done this before. I've been in a car crash in a supermarket car park, and had to get out and stand there with a form in my hand, like some sort of a bureaucrat, actually filling out these damn things. I mean, it puts you off having accidents forever. Really, you get into one of these things, you never want to do it again.
You make it sound like people, would, if they didn't have to fill out the form, they say, oh, what the hell, you know, there's no forms to fill out, let's just crash into somebody.
I'm certain these forms are a deterrent, that's for sure.
What? I don't know. I think you're making it up.
No, I'm absolutely serious.
Well, so like I said, don't want anything absolutely serious on this show, but thanks a lot, mate.
Okay.
0500 1053 89. It's a free call, and looks like I'm at least 3 minutes past a break.
Christmas on 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio.
Hello, this is Christopher Aloysius Ashley. Well, today's the day we open the last window on the Advent calendar. The day when you'll remember that you forgot to buy a present for your Auntie Martha or your Uncle Arthur. The day when you realise the tree's got terminal needle drop. And when you start to think about getting a turkey. Yes, Christmas Eve. And there's no finer way to get the holiday off to a flying start than with myself, Christopher Aloysius Ashley. I'll be here with Britain's brightest breakfast. I'll have some tricky poses for you, some light-hearted banter, some very hush-hush surprise guests, and of course we'll be talking over the biggest stories of the day. So join me, Chris Ashley, this morning from 5 for the very special Christmas Eve breakfast on 1053, 1089 AM Talk Radio.
Talk to Nick Abbott. We call 0500 1053 89. We call 0500 1053 89.
The fax, by the way, is not free. Is that correct? It's hugely expensive. It is free. Or it's not free. Are you saying that no, it is not free, or yes, it is free? No, you're saying neither?
Because it is definitely not free.
So it costs like what, 20, 30 pounds to send a fax?
Probably.
0541 59 69 79. Calls charged at, well, we don't have the faintest idea, do we? You'll find out when you get the bill.
Yeah, free call.
It's a free call on the phone, and the fax isn't. And the fax number is 0541 59 69 79. And here's one from a bloke called Gerard, who lives in Ickenham. Oh, get out of there, Ickenham. I lived in Ickenham when I was in the second year of university, because and I went to a place called Brunel, which looks like a chemicals factory. What a hideous place out in Uxbridge. And in the second year, you pretty much had to fight for yourself, because at that time the housing was very hard to come by. And so they put me in with somebody who's studying computers. Talk about boring. Oh, and the guy who's running the board used to study computers. Really?
Yeah. No, I shared with somebody who was with computers as well.
Well, so maybe you can relate to this disgusting...
Just for 10 weeks.
Just as 10 weeks was enough, right? Okay, this guy stunk the place out. I mean, washing was not, personal hygiene not top of his list. And also he was like so boring, I would want to kill myself. I would come in, because I did psychology, right? And as a psychology student, you get like 2 hours of lectures a day. I mean, it's such a wishy-washy subject. And if you want to avoid work and you want to go to university, but you haven't got any subject at school that you're really, really keen on, that you think, I could really study this for the next 3 years, pick psychology or sociology or one of these like wishy-washy subjects, because virtually no work is required. It's great. And so like 2 lectures a day, and he was doing computers, and of course he was like 8 hours of lectures a day. And so he would get home and go to bed really early, because he had to get up and, be at the house by 8 to start work at 9. And so I would always arrive back at the flat after making sure that he was asleep. And I would pretend to be asleep while he got up and left, just so I'd never have to talk to him. Because he would always be like telling me jokes about computers, which just flat out aren't funny. So he not only stank the place out, but he was also a chronic pain in the neck too. And that was my story about Ickenham. And so it's not something that really features large in my places to revisit. But anyway, this bloke is living in Ickenham. He sent his fax. He said, I'd spend the 20 million on a big advertising campaign to advertise the fact that the millennium begins in 2001 and not 2000. When will people realize this, he says. He says the internet is the coolest thing ever, especially email. You can send a message to anyone in the world in under a minute. There's so much useful and vast amounts of information available on the internet. Unfortunately, as you said, it's the world's biggest library, but all the books are on the floor and the lights have been turned off. What a good way of putting it. I went to the website that was dedicated to me and thinks it was fantastic, which it is. And if you have a computer and you could care one way or the other, then it's worth me reading this out again, because this bloke, he's only about 16, who's put this thing up, and he's done a tremendous job. And it's www.compura.com/Nick-Abbot, A-B-B-O-T. It's only fair that I would read that out, because, as I say, he's done such a lot of work on it that, I feel I have to do something, anything, just to help the guy out. Here's one in the Wirral. Michael.
Oh, hi.
Hello, you're on Talk Radio.
I was just basically opening a brand name logo there.
Right. What did you say?
Right, okay, basically I wanted to talk about censorship. And recently I got a hold of a video, Natural Born Killers. And the thing is, I had to get pirates of it, simply because I couldn't hide it out.
Oh, really? That's one of the ones that we're prevented from seeing in the squalor of our own front room?
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, I heard that it'd been banned because of this Dunblane massacre. What I think's ridiculous, actually, because, I mean, massacres have been going on since the dawn of man, basically, haven't they?
Yeah, if it wasn't one thing, then it would be another. If there hadn't been any a terrible atrocity in the recent past, then it would just generally have been banned because we've got to protect the children. They would have come up with something.
I know. I was going to say something else, actually. The guy called, I think it was from Ireland before, he kept on saying, and now then, or something. That was just absolutely hilarious. I mean, God, some people. Another thing is...
Like I said before, I never remember anything that happens on this show, and people keep calling in and saying, you remember that bloke who was on like about half an hour ago, and he was called John, and he was talking about this, and I'm like, no. It just goes in one ear and out the next with me. I remember nothing that happens on these shows. Which is a good thing, because most of it's not something that you'd want to keep in the mind for too long anyway.
Yeah. There's another thing, the internet as well, everybody seems to be digging at it and stuff, and actually I think the internet's not that bad. It's got a lot of information in there.
But it perhaps does have a lot of useful information, and can... are there things like an encyclopedia, or do you have to pay for that sort of stuff? Do you have to get that on a CD or a hard disk, whatever you call it? Or are there sites on the internet where you can just ask it about dinosaurs and molecular biology and all that sort of stuff? Are there things like that, or as I said, do you have to actually pay for packages of stuff like that, like buying an encyclopedia?
Well, I mean, there's some places where you have to buy things, but most of it's free. I mean, you can go like through thousands and thousands of sites and stuff.
Yeah, but I went to one of these internet cafes, and I did sort of search around, and apart from it taking forever to get to, you know, wherever it was you wanted to go, I also found it impossible to find out. It's like travelling by bicycle in the biggest country you can think of without a map.
Yeah, some days on the internet, I mean, the line seems to be really jammed. I mean, sometimes Sundays seem to be a good day for some reason. You'd think Sunday would be worse, actually, everybody being off work and stuff, but sometimes Sunday seems about okay. You can seem to get online and...
So you're all wired in and netted up and whatever these phrases are?
I only got one of these things a while ago, actually, well, a few months ago.
Okay, well, listen, do me a favour and check out this site that this kid has put up. And,
I'd love to know the web number on the...
here we go, www.compura.com/Nick-Abbott.
Alright.
A-B-B-O-T. Check it out, because the bits that were working when I was... because there are sound bits on there as well, and of course in the internet cafe they don't allow you to have sound, because it would just like to be cacophonous.
I didn't know that. You have sound.
Yeah, well, they turn it down, of course, because they play this nice ambient music. Because if they had sound coming from like 20 different computers all jammed into one small room, then that would be like unpleasant to listen to. So I couldn't, you know, there were bits on it that I couldn't access, but generally, deeply impressed.
Can I quickly talk about something else before you...
Oh, and another thing?
I just want to quickly talk about UFOs, actually. You got a lot of...
please!
I was going to say, you got a lot of people ringing off, like, Looney Tunes, like... I personally, I'm not sure if I believe in them or not, but everybody seems to get so worked up about these things, and, you know, getting close to the millennium as well. And this dome, what is that dome about? What a waste of money.
What? What is what about?
That millennium dome.
The dome. Yeah, I don't really get it. Because have you ever been to Epcot Center in Disney World in Florida?
Oh, yeah,
it's just like
all the time.
Yeah, it's... you know, when you have a spare couple of hours, you just pop over. Why not? Of course. But it's just like a lot of dark rides, they call them. But basically, it's like, you know, General Electrics will have like a thing about electricity, and then there'll be, you know, I'm making it up now, but there'll be like the gas company and the car company. And as far as I know, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like a lot of companies advertising their wares. Yeah. And who wants to spend 20 quid to go in and see that? Especially as big as it's going to be, and as packed out with people as it's going to be, it just sounds like a place to avoid. So fortunately, they've stuck it in an area of London that nobody in their right mind would want to go to. And it just doesn't make any kind of sense at all to me. But then, you know, precious little does.
This millennium thing, I only found out about this because I'm an artist at the moment. I'm a bit of a graphic designer.
You're a bit of a graphic designer?
Well,
which bit of a graphic designer are you, by the way?
The good bit.
Right, okay.
The thing is, I found out about this thing about 5 months ago, this Millennium Project, and I realised that basically it's just a complete con. So it's not to use any money off them whatsoever at all. You've got to set up like this whole group. You know, in fact, anybody who researches into it as an individual to try and get money off them, I just advise you to totally forget it, because it's just absolute garbage.
No, well, you can't just say that and not back it. What do you mean it's a con?
It's an absolute con.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, basically, it's just so the government can claim that they're helping people. It's just one of those things.
Well, no, okay, yeah. Well, what's the experience of applying for money? I don't really understand what you're saying.
What the thing is anybody can basically apply for the Millennium Grant.
Right.
But not everybody gets them, basically.
Well, of course, and that's a good thing.
I know it's a good thing, but you have to be like a whole organisation to get one.
Well, isn't that a good thing too?
Well, no,
I mean, like, for instance, if we just, like, picked a few callers at random on this show and decided to give them some money, I mean, that would be a bad thing, I'm guessing. Especially some of the callers that we've had tonight.
I know.
Talk about weird. No, let's be very selective in who we give our millions to. I'm all for that.
I absolutely agree with you there, but anybody who researches into this will know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, let's do some research. Thanks a lot, mate. 0500 1053 89. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott in for Ian all this week. And let's have one in Carmarthen. Hello, Kate.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
Not too bad. First of all, may I wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Very Merry Christmas and a happy
healthy and happy
New Year.
and peaceful New Year. to you.
Great, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Now, Virginia Bottomley.
Oh.
I think she's on another planet.
Which one? Let's think of a planet off the top of our heads to send her to. I'm thinking of colonizing Mars. Would that be a good place?
Yeah, that would be a damn good place to send her to.
And just for balance, can I say that Virginia Bottomley is probably the greatest humanitarian that has ever lived, is a fabulous person, and you can't touch her.
She might be
As a matter of fact, you can't touch her. That's the law. Did you know that?
That's the problem, isn't it? We can't touch her. Anyhow, I think myself, instead of building that really great big dome, the money should be given to shelter so that they could have...
Well, not all 700 million, surely, because the shelter would start like they'd be buying mansions in Hampstead, and we don't want that.
No, we just want...
Well, people in Hampstead don't want that.
No,
I feel like quite sure about that.
We just want hostels to take people, to give them a nice warm bed and something to eat.
Yeah, like what is so funny about that? 700 million on some on like a temporary tourist site. I don't get it. And it seems to me that the reason that they're doing this is, okay, let's not say the reason, but here's a question. Are they doing it for political gain? Is this like some great... Is it like one of Francois Mitterrand's grand projects? You know, he built the Arch, de la Défense and the opera and all of that stuff that he built in France.
Opera? How many people can afford it? I've been to a ballet once in my
don't talk to me about
life.
opera. I went to ballet just the other day for the first time in my life. My parents took me to the Nutcracker Suite because they thought it'd be like a sweet thing to do. And you know, it was a sweet thing to do. But the thing that surprised me about the ballet, because you see clips of it on TV. I've never watched a whole ballet on TV before, but as you're flipping around, you'll alight on a ballet on like BBC Two, like every now and again, and they're quiet. Hang on a minute, and it's very, very quiet. You can hear the orchestra, and they're like leaping around with the greatest of ease, in complete silence. But when you actually go to a ballet, they're crashing around on stage, like elephants on stage.
Have you ever seen Coppelia?
No, I haven't. What's she like?
Oh, it's
What's she been up to? I haven't heard from her in a dog's age.
It's Dr. Faustus. He makes these toys and whatnot. And some guy or other... Oh, it's a couple of years since my husband treated me. That was
It's a couple... Okay, well, let's not go into that. Let's just talk about the opera.
Yeah. And it's not an opera, it's a ballet. Yeah. And he falls in love with the doll in the window.
Who, your husband?
No.
What kind of a shop was this that the doll was in? Was this a shop in Amsterdam, by the way?
I've never been. I have traveled the world, mind you. I am an ex-service wife. Spent 3 years in Kenya. And, Egypt and God knows what. Now,
it all became like a blur. Kenya and Egypt, you remember, but the rest of the world was like...
and Germany. I love Germany.
You were napping at the time?
Pardon?
So, back to the opera.
Yeah, opera. Ballet!
Oh, you don't want to go to the ballet?
Oh, my favourite opera is, what's his name now? The big guy.
The big guy? Was that Frank Carson?
Now you're trying to be funny. No, Pavarotti. I could listen to him all day. I think he's gorgeous.
Gorgeous? No, wait a minute. Gorgeous?
His voice.
Oh, right.
Not his figure.
Okay, just checking. Well, some people like them chunkier, it's a matter of personal taste.
Yeah.
How do we get onto Pavarotti's figure from Virginia Bottomley? Can anybody retrace our steps? We should have been letting out wool as we went down this maze. First, we need a roadmap to figure out where this is going. But whatever it was that you just said, no question about it, you're absolutely right. Unless you're completely wrong.
Go on.
So,
am I wrong?
Well, I don't know. All the bits were right, apart from all of the bits that were wrong.
No, the thing is, my item is, half of these kids on the street, they've fallen out with their parents. Are you with me? Yeah. It's not their fault.
You asked the question and gave the answer.
I've had kids of my
Beautiful.
own.
Are you with me? And you didn't
uh,
like pause for thought, just, yep, okay,
they
carry on.
turn around and they say to me, but Mum, you know, life doesn't get till 11 o'clock at night.
Do they say it like that? Ma'am?
Yeah.
Do you have like kids that lean over the banister from upstairs and they can't find their sock?
Oh, well,
and
they're
like,
grown up now.
Ma'am?
Thank God they've left home. and
they're still whining.
Yeah, oh, what? They're coming home tomorrow night. You know what? I wish to God I was all on, well, I am on my own.
Well, if they're coming home tomorrow night, there's still time to pack your bags and leave. Just put a note in the milk bottle outside the front door.
No,
Surprise.
I'd be quite happy spend Christmas Day having sausage and mash and just listen to you lot.
Well, that's, what, as opposed to enjoying it in the bosom of your own family?
Ah, well, we generally land up arguing. And, and talking about EQ, how the hell do you put an EQ in a Christmas pudding?
Well, now that's a good point. And it's, you've certainly given us something to ponder there, Kate. Thanks a lot. 0500 1053 89. What was that call about, by the way? I mean, it was about, it sort of went here, there, and everywhere, baby. The fax number is 0541 59 69 79, but it's a free call on the telephone, 0500 1053 89. We're going to do another lightning round soon, but I've got too many calls to wipe up at the moment. Too many of these people have been waiting for far too long, like Steve, for instance, in Dumbarton. 20 minutes and counting. Sorry about that.
I know. I'm talking about the lottery. I think, see, the money that's spent in the lottery and all the grants that go to the museums and the art galleries and the theatres and all that, I think it should be better going to the homeless and that. What do you think?
Yeah, well, we've covered that already. We should house the homeless, and we should give them, not only house them, we should give them, like, flats, penthouses. You know all those offices that have, like, wouldn't it be great to live above an office? I always thought this, that an office block, because you can make as much noise as you like, and you'd have like vast amounts of space, open plan, with terrific views and huge amounts of window space. And during the day, 9 to 5, then you'd keep it quiet, and the people downstairs won't be making much noise because they're working, right? And after 5, you could really whack them, because I'm not one of these neighbours who doesn't think about other neighbours. You know, I find it difficult to enjoy, like, really loud music or the TV up really loud, because all the time I'm thinking, well, you know, am I disturbing the people next door, the people downstairs, and all that? And a lot of people, they don't care one way or the other. They just, you know, they'll come in at any time of the day or night, and they'll have the music or the TV on as loud as they damn well like, and to hell with anybody who doesn't like it. And or it's not even to hell with them, they just don't even think about them. But I can't, like, physically cannot enjoy it loud, because I'm always thinking, well, you know, I'm disturbing other people and all that. But if you lived above an office, everybody goes home at 5, you can make as much noise as you like. Wouldn't that be great? So that's where we want to put the homeless people. We want to build another floor above every office block in the country and stick them up there. And with £700 million, we could also give them a second home in France. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Almost enough to make you want to fall out with your parents and get kicked out. 0500 1053 89. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott, and here's one in... Who's been waiting the longest? 21 minutes, it looks, in Leeds. Mary.
Hi, Nick.
How does your garden grow, by the way?
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
Daffodils, oh, I can't say it, I haven't been drinking, will be out soon.
No, they won't.
They will. They come out in January.
Rubbish.
You asked me about my
Daffodils?
garden. Yes. Daffodils.
In January?
Yes. And crocus.
Is that the plural? I suppose that is the plural of a crocus, isn't it? It's not crocuses. It's croci. Well said.
Yes. You know, we'll be quiet for a minute. I'll tell you about you. I don't know you do it. I really love you.
It's just yak with me, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
About this cat that comes to my door.
You want to tell us about a cat that comes to your door? Okay,
yeah,
here
I don't know if
we
it's
go.
a stray, but it's been coming quite a while. And it's a stripy cat. You know, it's a he cat. I don't like cats.
It's a what cat?
He.
Oh, it's a he cat?
Yeah, male.
Now, how do you know?
Well,
did you take a peek?
Like that, no. I went to the door.
Quick check.
I don't know much about cats.
No.
I like dogs best. Just a while ago, I was doing a bit of washing, and I had put some cream out for this cat and some dog meat, actually.
It's dog meat for the cat. You really don't like cats, do you?
It's your choice.
And by the way, cream will kill a cat. You give cream to a kitten.
Oh, don't tell me that.
But cats, it's too rich for the cat. They'll drink it right enough because they don't.
It goes mad.
No, I bet they do, yeah. But it's not good for them. You want to give them water.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. It's almost an education, this show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost.
So, Nick, a bit a while ago, you're talking about wishy-washy. Well, I was washing some things out. And I thought, I'll spread this lovely water down my steps to get rid of cat fleas, you know.
Cat fleas on your steps?
Yes.
What, your steps are infested with cat fleas?
Yeah, well,
what are your steps made of? Fur?
Well, it will be, because this cat's always here.
Yeah, but fleas need something a little more juicy to live off than, like, concrete.
All right, this wishy-washy water. So I opened the door and it was dark. I didn't see this cat. And I thought, oh, it's not
wishy-washy. I mean, it sounds like a character in a pantomime. Are we doing Aladdin here?
Yeah, nice wishy-washy water. And I thought, I'll fling it down my steps. So I opened the door.
The cat or the water?
Well, I'm coming to that.
Oh, no.
I opened the door. And the cat was there, and I threw this bowl of lovely wishy-washy water, and the cat went halfway down the footpath.
The cat went?
Yeah, it did, I'm sure. It did. I didn't know it was there, because it's dark-coloured.
But stripy, and naturally, fits right into its surroundings. Yeah. It's like it's camouflaged against concrete.
Can you imagine, though, poor thing? Poor thing going halfway down the steps. You know, because I did it with force.
You did it with force? Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And can I tell you a joke?
Oh, well, that's it? Well, so what happened to the cat? Because you understand that people don't care about the homeless, and people don't care about children, and people don't care about anything else in this country except, like, pets.
No.
And everybody's, like, virtually foaming at the mouth now that you were cruel to this cat.
Oh, no.
And that's all I'll be getting calls on now for the next 2 hours.
I didn't know it was there. You know, so I threw this water out.
Well, you say that, but, you know, ignorance is not a defense in the eyes of the law. You're going to prison for the rest of your life. Do you have any idea?
Can I tell you a joke?
Oh, we don't do jokes.
Oh, go on.
If you're an amateur comedian, then...
You didn't laugh at that cat story, and it's true.
Well, it wasn't funny. It may have been true, but it wasn't funny.
It's funny to me.
Well, maybe you had to have been there.
It's halfway down Flags with Suds.
Okay, so for you and you alone... then you can tell us a joke. I'll give you a little fanfare, shall I? Cue.
Brilliant.
Cue.
Lovely.
Timing.
Nick, I'm in love with you.
Timing.
Listen.
Yes.
This chap was invited to a party.
Now, can I ask you a question about this before you carry on?
Yeah.
Is this a rude joke?
No, I don't.
Smutty? A little bit of smut?
No.
Okay, because, you know, alarm bells are ringing in my mind. As soon as anybody wants to tell a joke, then it's usually, you know, really vile and disgusting.
No, this chap was invited to a party and
cat?
Chap.
Oh, chap.
Chaps, we've been talking about cats.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought, what can I go as you do? And he thought, I'll go as a tortoise. So he gets down on his knees and goes to this party with somebody on his back. And this person, when he got there, says, What are you? He says, well, I've come as a tortoise. He says, what's that on your back? He says, it's Michelle.
As in Michelle?
Michelle.
My bell.
Michelle.
Oh, painful. Would have been my second choice, yeah, but it's been no, I can't. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me now.
Go on.
No, you're teasing me now, Mary.
Go on. Please.
No, I've got to go.
Turn it out.
But it's been an inspiration talking to you. Oh, what a nice lady. 0500 1053 89. This is Talk Radio. It's a free call.
Christmas on 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio.
It's your last chance. Get out there and mingle with all the other procrastinators and shop till you drop. I'll be there too, so wish me luck. Shopping and shopping for Christmas. It's a chore for most of us, but spare a thought for those for whom it's a chore the year round. We're talking the compulsive shopper. There are hundreds of thousands of them. Are you one? It's an addiction. And we'll be talking to experts in the field, both academic and anecdotal. I'm Scott Chisholm. Join us and join in from 9 this morning for the ultimate Christmas shopping experience. There's a good argument for listening. 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio.
Nick Abbott on 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio.
That was embarrassing. Like occasionally you're in your bedroom or something like that, and somebody comes in without knocking, and you're doing something like really embarrassing, like making faces in the mirror, or like adjusting yourself. I was just adjusting myself, and somebody came in and gave me a fact. That was one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me in my whole life. And you can't knock because it's like a soundproof booth. Oh dear! Talk about now I'm blushing from head to toe. 0500 1053 89. Shame we don't have like a little Polaroid camera. That we've been able to tack that on the board. I'd never been able to live that down. It's a free call. In fact, I'll draw a picture of it and send it to you in the post. Stand by for a brown wrapper. It'll be coming through your door any moment now. Right, I'm going to do the last of these because I want to, get rid of this. These are following our actual statements found on insurance forms where car drivers attempted to summarize the details of an accident. Still can't believe that just happened. In the fewest possible words. Like when you're in the bathroom, the taps are running, and you've been in there like for 15 minutes, and your parents are knocking on the door saying, "What are you doing in there?" That's basically what I just went through. So, actual statements found on insurance forms where car drivers... I'll never get over that. Car drivers attempted to summarize the details of an accident in the fewest possible words, okay? I know you've heard these before, and they've been around every office in the country, but I don't care. The pedestrian had no idea which direction to run, so I ran over him. I was thrown from my car as it left the road. I was later found in a ditch by some stray cows. What? I saw a slow-moving, sad-faced old gentleman as he bounced off the roof of my car. I need a comic out. Okay, that'll do. And, finally, the indirect cause of the accident was a little guy in a small car with a big mouth. Beauty. 0500 1053 89, and here's a call from a bloke called Jason in Norwich.
Hello there.
How are you?
Not too bad. I'm talking about euro currency. You're talking about E's, or Rose.
Yeah. Just for people who've come in late, we weren't talking about the E's that they sell 1 million of a week for kids in discos. This is like a shortening of the word euro, because if we get one, then we won't be calling them euros in the shops because it's such like a wet word. We'll have to call it something else. And it's a difficult word to shorten. So
you said about using. Well, I thought about if we use the initials EC or even EC.
An EC.
An EC. Then if we're actually unfortunate enough to receive the euro currency, we can stare down at it in our hand and looking at it say, flip an EC.
Now, how long did it take you to come up with that?
Well,
fantastic piece of material. That was great. Beauty. Thanks a lot, mate.
The other thing.
Oh, and another thing.
Twos and ones. Like, is there any plan to make these a bit smaller or something? Because it's just so annoying nowadays.
The what, sorry?
2 P's and 1 P's. It's just so annoying getting handfuls of change.
and you know, they just stick out your pockets, and they're just.
Well, the thing that annoys me are pound coins because they're heavy. Well, how big are the £2 coins? Does anybody know? I've seen a picture of what they look like, but I don't know how big they're going to be.
Well, how do you feel about, you know, these twos and ones?
And the guy next door,
so heavy, aren't they?
Jason is like giving me the OK sign, and it looks like as big as the old 2p piece, like bigger than a 10p piece. Are you serious? How do you know that? Oh, you're guessing. What a tremendous contribution he's made to the show so far.
I'm just saying, I just think that, you know, the twos and ones are just too heavy. You know, they could make them a hell of a lot smaller, really, couldn't they?
A 1p piece is too heavy.
It's too large.
Oh, you need to go to the gym, mate. I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm saying it's heavy. It's just so, you know, it's just
no,
so
the 50p piece is too big and too heavy. I hate that coin. And the pound coins, they're too big and heavy as well. We need to go back to, like, paper money for pound coins. But the £2 coin, as long as it's not bigger than the pound coin already is, then that would be okay. If it was, like, the same size and thinner and bimetal, you know, like two... You understand what I mean by bi? I don't need to explain that, do I? Then that would be fine, just as long as it's not bigger and heavier. Because how stupid would that be on a scale of 1 to 10? 10.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, okay, listen, thanks a lot, mate. 0500 1053 89. Got a few more there. We keep getting too many calls that have been waiting too long to do a lightning round. So let's try and do one in the next hour, because it looks like we're going to be fresh out of time. Here's Bolton. Hello, Sheila.
Hiya.
You're on Talk Radio.
Hiya. Talking about Virginia Bottomley, and you said to give everybody £1 million.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever see that film, The £1 Million Note? I think it was Cary Grant.
No, I never heard of it.
Well, two men, they had a bet, and they gave him £1 million note, and one bet he could spend it, the other bet he couldn't. And he lived like a king, and nobody could change this money. So he still had this £1 million note and lived for months like a king.
Oh, people kept comping him stuff because he was rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah, so if I get my £1 million, can I have it in a big one, in a full note?
So you'll never have to spend it.
No.
Because that's the thing about winning $1 million. Because $1 million is, I know it might sound a little silly, but $1 million isn't very much money. You can spend $1 million and, you know, hello, you haven't got any money left in a very short period of time. You know, you buy a house for you and your immediate family, buy a couple of cars, have a holiday, buy a suit, and that's it. But so if you win £1 million, you want to invest it so that you don't actually spend the capital and you just spend the interest.
Yeah.
Because with $1 million, I'm guessing you'll probably get like a 10% interest, which is 100,000 over a year.
It's crappy, isn't it?
And you could pretty much live on 100,000 a year.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'd split it up, me. I think I'd invest it all in one and then make sure everybody got the fair share over the earth.
All over the earth?
Yeah.
Well, £1 million is not going to stretch very far if you're thinking of spreading it around everybody on earth.
No, I mean, family.
Oh, your family?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question about this. How much would I get, for instance?
A Christmas card.
A Christmas card? With anything in it? Like a cheque or something?
No, I'll take you out for a night out.
Well, what if I didn't want to go out with you?
Oh, well, please yourself. You've been missing out.
Well, yeah, maybe. And you can always, like, describe what it is that we would get up to on a clean sheet of paper and send it to me in the post. Or not.
You wouldn't get up to smoke, but you'd have a good time.
Right.
Right. Oh, and a £2 coin, it's not much bigger than an ordinary coin.
Than an ordinary pound coin?
Yeah, yeah.
But it is bigger?
Slightly, I think.
Is it thick? Is it as thick? Because it could be slightly bigger, but not as thick. That would be okay, but it's just like the thickness of the pound coin that gets me.
It's as thick. It's as thick.
Because well, they should make it thin.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, who are these people that are designing our coins? Do they not, like, carry change?
Well, I don't know. I've been carrying over £100 in pound coins today in my shopping bag.
What? Like in a sock to use as a weapon, or like? Why?
Well, it's another story that my daughter sent it. She had this £100 of mine, and she needed the notes, so she sent it me all down in pound coins. So the whole family's been in stitches because I've gone shopping with all this in my bag.
That must have weighed a ton.
Well, it did. It did.
So have you got one of those bags that are on wheels?
No, it's...
So you're carrying it in the palm of your hand?
No, I'm carrying it in my shopping bag. And then I'm other...
You're carrying £100 in £1 coins in your... Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So God help anybody if they try and mug me.
Well, they wouldn't get very far, would they?
No, they wouldn't.
All right, thanks a lot, Sheila.
All right.
And that's a little tip, by the way, for anybody that's concerned about being mugged in the street. Just carry all of your money in really small change. Here's one in London. Naz. Hello, Naz.
Hello.
Naz.
Oh, can I just say, I love pound coins. I think they are the sweetest, dinkiest things, and I've always loved
Well,
them.
they are dinky individually, but you get 4 of them, or you change a tenner in some, they say, oh, sorry, mate, I haven't got any fivers, and you get 9 back. And suddenly they're not so much fun anymore.
Oh, but they are.
No, they're not.
I'm not convinced. I love pound coins. I don't, they're so cute, and they're shiny, and like, if you have 9 of them, or 19 of them, or 90 of them, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, this is beginning to sound a little bit weird now. Now it sounds like you're having a relationship with your change.
No, I just think that they are so nice, and I don't like you putting them down.
Oh, really? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to the new news.
Oh.
Okay, well, I promise you I won't put down your pound coins anymore. Wow.
Thank you.
Talk about it. On a night of weird calls, this is the standout.
Hey.
So, what was it that you were going to talk about apart
I
from
was
that?
going to talk about sleeping problems, yeah. Because, like, I just think, when you have exams, I think your sleeping pattern goes completely out the window, and it's so difficult to sleep. I just find it, like, incredible, because, like, I plan to, like, get about 6 hours sleep, and you end up getting, like, 12, and you end up waking up in the afternoon, and like, half your day's gone.
I thought you were saying that you couldn't get to sleep.
Oh, no.
And I was going to say that, opening a book will send me straight off.
See, I have that
But you're saying that you sleep for too long. Well, how old are you?
18.
Sleep, right, okay, 18. When you're 18, you do sleep. But when I was at your age, I was at university in my first year.
Yeah.
And I've said this before as well, but I'm nothing if not repetitive. And I used to have a flat on campus, less than 2 minutes away from the lecture theatre, and there was a whole course that started at 10 in the morning. I missed every single lecture for a whole year because I couldn't get up at 10 o'clock. But then as you get older, you find that you start waking up earlier and earlier and earlier. And you go to your grandparents' place, and they're up at like 6 in the morning. They haven't got anything to do. It's just that's when they wake up. So eventually you will get over it, but of course you'll fail all of your courses by then because you will sleep through the whole thing, and you'll become penniless and destitute, but at least you'll be waking up early.
I'll have already wasted my life.
There you go. There's something to look forward to. 0500 1053 89. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott. This is Talk Radio. And we'll pause now for the new news. In fact, it might be the nude news. Let's find out.
Can you enter Talk Radio's Write Your Own Christmas Cheque with the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday? We're giving away £30,000.
19 seconds you rang us.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Congratulations, mates. Neil.
Oh, fantastic.
You're a winner.
Jan Davis wants £1,000, and the reason being she's been trying to pass her driving test since 1990. 90? I mean, her St. Christopher's got whiplash.
He will now, with the Daily Mail, double your money to £560. If you call us within 15 minutes, we are going to double your cheque and give you £2,000.
Oh, yes.
The kids would love to go to Disney. It'd be a dream come true for them.
£2,000.
Brilliant.
Listen now, your next chance to win is with Chris Ashley this morning at 20 to 8, and with Sandy Wall this afternoon at 20 to 4. Your very last chance to win is with Mike Allen tonight at 20 to 11. Write your own Christmas cheque, only on 10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio. Great talk all the time on 10:53, 10:89 a.m. This is Talk Radio.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Annie Webster. Parents are being warned to check out their Christmas tree lights after a 6-year-old girl was electrocuted. Cara Weatherston died as she switched on the lights at her home in East Yorkshire. Former school governor Noel Bakes says her classmates will be devastated.
I think what is going to be the blow is when children go back after school, if they haven't heard and haven't read about it and find out that Cara's died, they'll be absolutely shattered.
Accused killer Tracy Andrews is back home for Christmas. The former model, who's charged with murdering her fiancé, has been dramatically freed from prison on bail. Her solicitor Tim Robinson said the publicity surrounding the case has led to a new witness coming forward. Police will be out again at first light to search for missing 9-year-old Kaylee Ward. Her mother now believes the streetwise schoolgirl could be anywhere in Britain. Thousands of Lloyd's TSB staff are set to strike this afternoon because their bosses have scrapped half-day closing on Christmas Eve. But John Townsend from the banking union BIFU says customers will hardly notice.
There is no expectation from the public for there to be banks open. The main requirement of customers on Christmas Eve is to get cash, and clearly the branches will be open in the morning, and after that the cash dispensers will be fully stocked as normal.
The search for Buzz Lightyear is over. 16,000 of the elusive spacemen are being dispatched to Disney stores nationwide. Company spokesman Michael Osborne says they've pulled out all the stops to make sure the year's hottest toys available.
In normal circumstances, of course, if demand wouldn't have been anywhere near as strong, then we would have, been delivering that stock to stores after Christmas. But because there's such a demand, then we've laid on extra staff, we've worked around the clock. We are literally down to the wire on this one.
Buzz Lightyear to the rescue!
And Christmas is costing us more than £450 each. A new survey says that that's the average sum spent by adults this year. About a third goes on food and drink, the rest on gifts. The biggest spenders, splashing out an average £500 each, are in Northern England and Scotland. Independent Radio News.
Christmas on 10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio.
All right, Nick. You go on. You go on earlier on.
I go on because it's my job.
What's happened?
What has happened?
Have you been having me on? Have you been having me on?
There's a parrot in the background.
Get out of it. You've been winding me up, haven't you?
No, I've been having you on. Do you have any idea what you're talking about?
You little sex stuff, and I should stash you out before the week's out.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Nick. Get you all over, darling.
Good one. They are, Nick. Stop playing my effects in. I'll come in there and I will... Mrs. Hull.
Everyone fell in love with you, you're so natural. You could be nasty at times, though.
Oh, no, come on, there's nothing nasty about me. Is it okay so far? Don't answer that.
10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio. Nick Abbott on Talk Radio.
That's the problem with engineers. They just can't help themselves. See? Stop playing in my effects. I have to tell this to every single person I work with on this station. These effects are mine and mine alone. I'll come in there and... 0500 1053 89. Let me set up a lightning round. Let me read the numbers so that you can understand what I'm saying. 0500 1053 89. It's a free call, and we'll have a lightning round now. I've got a couple more calls on the board. I'll go through them. And then we'll do a lightning round. Just complete the sentence, I am. Why not? It's the ideal time to call a radio show. It'll never be easier. You won't have to get into like a long discussion. You don't even have to be intelligent. You just have to be intelligible. Well, that you don't have to be intelligent is, fairly obvious if you've been listening for more than the past 5 minutes. A cup of tea. Thank you. Nothing like it. There's nothing like a nice cup of tea, and as the old joke goes, that is nothing like a nice cup of tea. 0500 1053 89. So, yep, you'll be assigned a number. And I'll wipe through the board and just complete the sentence, I am. It's a lightning round, setting that up. But first, here's one in London, and it's a bloke called Chris.
Hello?
Hello, Chris.
Alright, mate.
How are you?
I had a bit of problems getting on tonight, you know what I mean, with mobile phones and all that.
Oh, what a...
But, cut out twice, but I'm on the air now. I wanted to talk to you for ages about what you were saying earlier on about university and all that.
What was I saying earlier on?
Well, he's going on about you should do psychology and all that, and it's a bit of a, DOS subject and everything.
It is.
Well, I've got to disagree with you there. I'm actually studying philosophy at the moment.
Really?
And it's not all at DOS.
For what... Okay, let me ask you this. For what reason are you studying philosophy?
Pardon? I find it interesting. I think
philosophy is like teaches us about the meaning of life. The great philosophers, the way great minds think, in fact. And like, you can't knock a subject like that. Fair enough, the hours are small, yeah, and all that. But at the end of the day, what's to say any degree after university can like guarantee you a job at the end of it? Whether you're doing psychology, whether you're doing medicine, law, whatever, languages, any subject, history.
No, I don't mean to be rude, but you don't talk like somebody who's studying philosophy. I mean, hasn't made you very eloquent.
Well, how would you expect someone to talk?
Well, without saying...
Does that make someone less intelligent by the way their mannerisms or the way they talk?
It doesn't make you less intelligent, but it implies that you're less intelligent.
Why?
Well, because if you finish every sentence with "you know what I mean" and stick "like" and
because I'm having a conversation with you. You're not like sort of someone who I should be talking. You're not like. I mean, I wouldn't exactly like speak to one of my lecturers.
Well, that sentence that you just gave me, that in a nutshell, that's what I'm talking about. Because you used the word "like" about 3 times, and if you wrote that sentence down, it wouldn't make any sense in English.
Okay, Nick, how would you prefer me to speak to you?
Well,
what manner would you prefer me to speak to you?
Just lucidly.
Pardon?
Lucidly.
I can speak to you lucidly if you want, if that's what you'd like.
Well, I doubt it. On the evidence that we have so far, I doubt it.
Basically, Nick, it's not going to help me get my point across, and I can express my way anyway.
Well, no, that's. I mean, how can you say that? That speaking lucidly is not going to help you get your point across? Don't you understand that language is power, and that people who have a great command of language will be able to get their point across much better than people who like stumble all over their sentences and say "like" and "you know what I mean" and can't finish a sentence and like that.
If you'd perhaps let me get a word in edgeways, I could possibly have a chance to speak.
Go ahead.
Eloquently, lucidly, however you'd like me to speak.
Well, why didn't you do that from the beginning then?
Pardon? Because I thought I'd come on here, have a nice talk with you, well, set up a sort of rapport, yeah, and, and have a chat about what I wanted to talk about. But now you've totally switched the subject, turned all your sort of offence upon me, yeah, to say that, well, I don't sound like someone who may be at university because of the way I'm speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep repeating "like" and "you know what I mean."
Mm-hmm. Well, do you know what? Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, Nick. I know exactly what you mean, but that's what I've found since I've been at university, is that people expect you to talk and act a certain way.
Well, I'm not talking about acting. I don't care how you act. It's just like... it's the people, intelligent, educated people who are generally at university, don't tend to talk like you're talking.
I know.
Now, I'm not suggesting that you're not intelligent. It's just that your manner of speech doesn't coincide with my notion of how people who are studying philosophy would talk.
I know, and this is the problem that I find when I'm at the university, is that certain people find like they don't want to approach you because of the way you speak.
Well, exactly, and it's going to hold you back, and it's going to work against you. So my best suggestion to you is, and wouldn't it be nice if people didn't make value judgments about people just by the way they speak? If people made judgments about people from their actions, but they don't. You put somebody in a box with as little information as you can, the way they look, the way they speak, and people will make a judgment instantly about you like that, just as I did, and anything that you do subsequently or say subsequently, well, it's much more difficult to change people's initial impression of you than it is to get the impression in the first place. Like, do you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't think like it's necessary to sort of that's, in my view, in my eyes, that's conformity. That's conforming to what society wants. If you're going into a bank or whatever, people expect you to talk a certain way. If you're going whatever situation you may be in, people are expecting you to talk a certain way. If you're out with your friends, you talk a certain way.
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like I expect or I want. It's like it would do you good to... And as I'm saying this, I'm trying to be as lucid and clear as I can, and yet I'm trying too hard, and so I'm getting stuck because I don't want to do the very things that I'm criticizing you for doing. But it would be of benefit to you if you concentrated more on your speech, because people would react to you in different ways if you didn't use like, you know, and you know what I mean, and like pause and like, all that sort of like, glottal stopping and all of that stuff.
But like, can I ask you a question? Do you think that I think that naturally, you speak to certain people in different ways anyway.
Of course, yeah.
Right? And so, in some respects, you can try and get away from it, but you won't totally. I mean, you'd like, for instance, because I mean, I'm quite young, but I mean, for instance, the way I speak to my mother, or the way I speak to one of my peers is totally different.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I can just make a suggestion, try and cut out all the likes, and try and cut out all the yeahs, and then you'll be halfway there, all right?
You reckon?
Absolutely.
All right, and you try to cut them out as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Thanks a lot, Chris.
I'll take care.
Good call. 0500 1053 389. It's it's a free call. Do you know what I mean? And we're into a lightning round now, so be brief and be on and be gone. 0500 1053 389. Talk about your ideal time to call a radio station. Everybody gets assigned a number from 1 to 6. I'll wipe through the board really quickly and then start at the beginning again. So just keep dialing. If at first you don't succeed, try again, because, as I say, we've got 6 lines, and I'm going to go straight through them and clear up all 6 lines in one go. So they're completing the sentence, I am. It's a lightning round. Here we go, number 1.
I am known as a minute man. When I say something, I mean it.
2.
I am your son. Dad?
3.
I am out of your tiny little mind. You know what I mean?
I am out of your tiny little mind. Right, like I said, just weirder and weirder. 4.
I am in need of some love.
Oh, it's Ada who can't get laid. A regular from the old school. 5.
I am not paranoid. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Get away from me! No!
6. Is there anybody out there? No. Okay, so we're lining them up again. Just going through really, really quickly. 0500 1053 389. It's a lightning round. Maybe we'll go through more than once this time. So here we go, number 1.
I am a killer, healer, redeemer, and deliverer.
And 2.
I'm a jock. I'm from the Highlands.
Oh, I was hoping that was going to be a poem of more than 2 lines, but what a beautiful thing. Short but sweet. If only it had been silent but deadly. Here's 3.
I am talking to you, listening to you, talking to me, listening to you, talking to me. I'll forget it.
4. It's like what we heard 7 seconds ago.
Yeah, that's about right.
Turn the radio off.
It's turned off.
4. And you weren't calling in for this, were you?
Yes, I was.
No, well, go ahead.
Go ahead. I am totally wondering why it is there's always women that are acting more sensibly on your program and not the men.
Because men are slime, men are fools, men are idiots. How long do you have to live on this planet to figure that out? Now, do you think we'll get any calls about that? Maybe. Fewer calls than if I had said that about women, because it's okay to slag men off. That's perfectly acceptable now. All these advertising... all the advertising giants are all slagging men off. Men are stupid now. Look at advertising now. Who are the sex objects in advertising? It's all men. It's all like men with their shirts off. Who are the stupid people in advertising? Ditto. It's all men. Men, you know, there's one where this bloke is in this really fancy kitchen and is well, it could be his wife, could be his girlfriend, whatever. She's going away, and he's like looking in the cupboards like he's never been in the kitchen before. And she's saying, you know, you'll be able to feed the cat, and and he opens he's opening cupboards like what is this? Like, and she's worried about whether he's going to be able to find the fridge. And men are just stupid. Men can be thrown out of windows by women to advertise cars, and you know, it's all sorts of stuff. That's absolutely fine. However, if you did the same thing. If the roles were switched, and could you imagine to advertise a car if a bloke threw a woman out of the window into a swimming pool because she went off with his car without her permission? No, I got that the wrong way. She went off with his car without his permission. It would have been absolute outcry. Would never reach the TV screens for a start. So, yeah, it's absolutely okay to say that men are slime and disgusting and they're idiots, but just don't say that about women, because you'll never work again. Here's one, numbered 5.
Cluck, cluck. I am a exploding turkey. Cluck.
6.
I am a computer boss.
Was that actually a computer speaking?
No, not really. That's very joking.
And the previous call, when he said, I am an exploding turkey, I think you just are a turkey. Shall we go through again? Have we set up another 6? We have. Is it worth doing it again? Or do it one more time, then we'll take a break. 0500 1053 89. As soon as you hear... No, I don't want to take the break and do another one. I'm going to do it first and then take a break. Try and produce me? No. So I'm going to go through one more time, and then we'll take the break, and then you can call in about... then the... What's that? They're not lined up. Well, you just have to work faster than that. Come on. And then I'll take a break, and then you can call in about, you know, like normal something like. So the number again is 0500 1053 89. Talk about your ideal time to call a radio, so you'll never have an easier time to get on than when I wipe through this board, because all 6 lines will suddenly become free for the first time this evening. So we're completing the sentence, I am. Here we go, number 1. Oh, number 1 isn't ready yet. Okay, 2. 2.
I am listening to 1053, 1089. Talk Radio, the station of the nation. Stay tuned.
The station that gives you your sleigh. I thought that was particularly amusing myself. In fact, I think I used it in one of these little cute drop-ins that we do. Everybody's wishing everybody else a happy Christmas. What a beautiful thing. And it looks like the bloke next door is James, our technical operative this evening, or producer, or whatever it is he likes to call himself. It looks like he's finding it. He's going to drop it in any moment now. Almost like this was planned. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Tra-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la. Oh, Nick Abbott. What about that? Very Merry Christmas. Yeah, what does that mean, by the way? Have a very Merry Christmas. What does that mean? Does anybody have any idea? I don't have an idea, and I said it. 3.
I am glad I tuned in.
Oh, what a beautiful thought. Thanks for sharing your thought, madam. 4.
I used to be a werewolf, but I'm all right now.
Oh, 5. 5 has put the phone down.
I am glad I'm at Angel's time.
He's chatting with his mum. 6.
I am Gary Bushell. God blimey, missus. How are you, Governor?
And finally, as we didn't get it first time round, 1.
I am sad that the people are suffering in the world.
Wow. But what can we do about it? Nothing?
Nothing, I don't suppose. Not when Miller in control, no.
Yes, I know. Slime. So, like I said, I mean, if it had been the other way around, then I probably wouldn't have come back after this ad break. This is Talk Radio, right? That was the lightning round. Let's talk about, you know, the usual rubbish now. 0500 1053 89.
Christmas on 1053, 1089 AM, Talk Radio.
Hello, this is Christopher Aloysius Ashley. Well, today's the day we open the last window on the Advent calendar. The day when you'll remember that you've forgotten to buy a present for your Auntie Martha or your Uncle Arthur. The day when you realise the tree's got terminal needle drop, and when you start to think about getting a turkey. Yes, Christmas Eve, and there's no finer way to get the holiday off to a flying start than with myself, Christopher Aloysius Ashley. I'll be here with Britain's brightest breakfast. I'll have some tricky poses for you, some light-hearted banter, some very hush-hush surprise guests, and of course we'll be talking over the biggest stories of the day. So join me, Chris Ashley, this morning from 5 for the very special Christmas Eve breakfast on 1053, 1089 AM Talk Radio.
Talk to Nick Abbott. We call 0500 1053 89. We call 0500 1053 89.
I think he's making it up that his middle name is Aloysius. He's going to be popping in about, what, half an hour, something like that, for a chat. I'm going to ask him to spell Aloysius, and then we'll find out. Anybody any ideas? Aloysius? Care to take a stab at that? James? Putting you on the spot? No conferring. Sarah's going to have a go. No, never mind about Sarah. I'm not asking her, I'm asking you.
Oh, that's because I'm a girl.
Yes, we're not interested in your thoughts.
Yeah, but men are useless, aren't they? So, no, I don't have a clue. Men are useless.
Oh, now he's got the hump. 0500 1053 89. It's a free call. Some of these are beautiful. If you want to send me some free material, by the way, then I will certainly be glad because, you know, I'll be doing this all week, and I have absolutely no idea. What kind of calls are we going to get over Christmas? Anybody, any idea? Because I was asking the people that I was working with last night, not last night, last week, the creatures of the night, who would, you know, generally do Ian's show, and they really didn't have any idea whatsoever. It's going to be probably a lot of drunk people. Oh dear, my rice pilaf is backing up on me. So, you know, there could be like vast, because Christmas morning, I suppose a lot of parents who will be woken up at like 1 in the morning with their kids, it's Christmas, running around the house screaming, where's my Buzz Lightyear, and, you know, all of that stuff, and I don't like it. I want a bike. You know, all of that. What a nightmare. So there'll probably be like a lot of parents at the end of their tether who will be ringing in. A lot of people coming in from parties. People who will be working. Like me. People do work. And so, or it could be like no calls at all. Everybody could be asleep, you know, in case Santa doesn't come. So as much free material as you've got, I'll be happy to receive it, and completely shameless in reading it out. 0541 59 69 79 is the fax number. 0541 59 69 79. And how about these? People have rung 999 and wanted an ambulance. And of course, you have to have a good reason to want an ambulance. You know, I'm not talking about people who are actually like lying on the floor in desperate need of immediate medical attention. These are people who perhaps didn't need an ambulance. They could have made it their own way there, but tried to wangle one anyway. So excuses for asking for an ambulance to and from hospital. I can't breathe and haven't done so for years. I can't walk to the bus stop and my wife is bent. And I am under the doctor and I can't breathe. And there are many more of these you'll be devastated to learn, which I shall be sharing with you later, because I'm kind of the caring, sharing guy I am. Here is, it's Irene in Bournemouth. Hello, Irene.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. I've got a little message for your student of philosophy.
Just a little thing?
Yes. You cannot make a first impression a second time around.
Well, that was a very beautiful and succinct way of putting it. I kind of stammered around and tried to put it in those terms, but
I was trying to transfer it to you.
I failed miserably. Well, I wasn't picking up your waves.
That's right. But actually, what I'm phoning about is this dome business for the millennium.
Oh, yeah.
And I really do think it's a waste of public money.
Totally.
It is. I mean...
And for balance, I have to say that it's probably the greatest way to spend £700 million that has ever been thought of.
Yeah.
Because I have to, you know, I'm nothing if not balanced.
That's right. I'm unbalanced most of the time, but that's neither here nor there. But, I mean, the thing is, hospitals need money. People need housing. There's so much that is needed that is going to be substantial to everybody, rather than a great big dome that, well, what can you do with a great big dome?
Well, the thing is that the great big dome will reflect positively on the people that build the great big dome. You understand what I mean? The politicians that put the great big dome into being...
will get their name in the history book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it will also, like, reflect great positive publicity upon them, because there's this great thing that people from all corners of the country will be coming to visit on, you know, probably not a regular basis, but they'll come and take a quick peek.
That's right.
Probably come and take a quick peek at the entrance prices, and then decide to
to go
and have a cup of tea in Greenwich instead.
Well, this is it. Our money pays for these things, then we have to pay to go in and see them.
But you're absolutely right. I can't think of a good reason to spend £700 million on some tourist, and it's not even going to be a permanent tourist attraction. It's just something that will be here and gone within a matter of years.
Well, yes.
Imagine the amount of suffering that you could
alleviate.
Exactly, alleviate. Boy, we really are working telepathically, aren't we? Exactly the word I was searching for.
Yeah, but it's true. There's so much wastage in this country and so many idiots who sit there and take it.
And I think that it would just be a much better way to celebrate the millennium, if that's something that you think would be appropriate to do.
Well,
to do good things with this instead of some great dome.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't live anywhere near London, but we came through there about 3 o'clock one morning, and the children that were on the streets at that time, I mean, surely they could have safe houses for children.
It's not just children either.
No, I know, but...
You know, the people who've been turfed out of mental homes, and you can't walk, and I'm sure it's the case in every major city in the country, you can't walk 10 yards in the centre of the city without somebody asking you for some spare change.
That's right. Or
Do you have any idea how cold it is tonight?
Yeah, no,
There's probably dozens of homeless people tonight who, and there's talk about bringing the show down, but will probably die tonight. Do you not think that it might be a little better to give these people just a little bit of, how about just a roof over their heads for a couple of nights while it's really, really cold, and a bowl of soup? How much would that cost?
Not a lot.
Exactly. Would
Not a lot in
Would it cost £700 million?
No.
No.
Maybe £500,000.
If that.
Yeah. Well, I'm being generous. But as I said, the people who need it, I mean, there are people on the streets who want to be, but for those, as you say, who are handicapped in some way, or the children who've run away for various reasons, all these people who are really at risk need help.
And it's not just roofs and soup that we need. It's like
it's like a home, a halfway house, if you like.
It's like the old thing about giving aid to the third world. You can give them fish, or you can give them a fishing rod. Do you know what I mean? So they need some sort of help to get back into the system. You know, because once you're out of the system,
you're gone.
It can be like that. It can be incredibly hard to get back in because people won't give you a job because you're living on the streets, and you can't get off the streets because you haven't got a job, and so on and so forth.
Isn't it?
Totally. And it can happen to any of us. That's the thing. It's just like a force of circumstance. It's like one thing adds on to another, and suddenly you lose where you're living, and you lose the person you're living with.
I have been through that, so I do know.
And so it can happen to any of us. And there's so many people that it's happened to in this country. It just seems that
there's no help when you
save 100 million off that dome, and just get these people back into the game.
Put the feeling back into people, because people are now so cold and hard. All the 25 years or so ago, people were so different. They cared for each other.
Well, that's because circumstances were so different. There weren't. I don't know about you, but I was living in London. It was during the Thatcher administration, and you could almost set your watch by it, because one day there was virtually the only people that were on the streets were like the old tramps. You know, like tramps used to be like old people.
Yeah.
And then I know it probably didn't happen like this, but it seemed like the next day the streets were awash with people who weren't old and career
the whole of the nation has just declined, really.
And so it just seems to me that there's just so many better ways to spend £700 million. There just are.
Give them a boost, give them some help, because everybody needs help. Everybody. It's all right for politicians. They earn fantastic amounts of money. But people who, as you say, can't get a job because they haven't got anywhere to live, and vice versa.
There you go.
All right?
Wouldn't it be just a beautiful thing?
It would.
Yeah.
I should rule the country for a few years.
Yeah, I'll vote for you.
You would? Oh, I like you.
As long as I can have a job in the Treasury.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, cut me in on that one.
Thanks a lot, Ira.
Okay, bye-bye.
0500 1053 89. It's a free call. I'm Nick Abbott, in for Ian this week. And how about one in Derby? From Irene to Eileen. See how this all fits? Almost like it was planned. Hello, Eileen.
Hello, Eileen. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. It's somebody saying, Eileen.
Come on, Eileen.
I've got a puzzle. It's just puzzling me regarding the calendar. 52 weeks in a year, 7 days in a week, and it totals 364, which we know that there's 365. Have you an explanation?
Have I an explanation?
Yeah, I've tried to work it out. There is 365 on the calendar. But, I mean, there's 7 days in a week, isn't there? And there's 52 days, 52 weeks in a year.
There's 52 and some over, though, isn't there?
Pardon?
It's 52 and a bit over, hence leap years, isn't it?
And I was playing with paper in bed, and I thought, well, I'll just give you a ring, see if you knew. It's odd. It's something that you can't go to sleep, you're thinking about it. It's like somebody mentioned about it being like the last day of the Advent calendar or something like that. And I thought, yeah, 360. I thought, no, there's 364 days.
Have you got an Advent
calendar?
calendar?
Got the calendar. No. I had the children across the road. But
because they used to be great. Did you ever open day 25 before it was actually day 25?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd really love to know the answer to that, because I actually got the calendar out. There's 365 days, but there's also 7 days in a week. And when you do it on paper, whatever, it's 364.
Maybe you need to get a calculator.
No, I've done it. I tried it. Not today, other days. And it's just something that puzzles me. There's got to be a reason.
Well, can I call you Miss Turry?
Mrs. I'm a widow. Eileen Darby. Eileen. It's just listed to me.
That's what I'm saying. Can I call you Miss Turry?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, listen, thanks a lot, Eileen, for that arithmetical puzzle that you've given us. And now we're all getting a headache.
And another little time.
Oh, and another thing?
About 3/4 of an hour ago, I thought that you were eating either chocolates or mince pies. Were you?
Eating chocolates?
Mince pies. I thought, whatever he's eating, he's enjoying it. It wasn't celery.
Did I sound like I was eating on the air?
Because
I eat during the ad breaks just to keep me going. A little bit of a little protein injection.
And I thought, no, I think he's got a box of chocolates there. And you were very subtle with it, but I thought it's not celery because it wasn't crunchy.
Celery?
And it wasn't crisp because it wasn't.
What? You don't want to eat celery?